Ritu Motial from Team Population First. A very warm welcome to the 11th edition of the National Laadli Media and Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity 2021. It gives me great pleasure to welcome amongst us Ms. Sunita Rao as our host for the evening. Sunita is an acclaimed indie pop fusion artist and a theatre personality and has captivated audiences across the globe for the past 3 decades with her albums like Pari Hu Main. She's also been a spokesperson for Laadli since its inception and has composed, sang and produced the video for our Laadli song. She's also made the video for her song Sun Zara, which is a passionate appeal for women's empowerment, and she's done it in association with UNFPA. Welcome, Sunita, to the evening.
Thank you so much, Ritu, for that warm welcome. Good evening, everyone. As we near the end of the second year of the pandemic, signs of normalization are beginning to show up. But some aspects continue, like the online world we have all become so accustomed to, a world which has made distance just a notion, perhaps. In this spirit of continuous change, I present to you the 11th edition of the National Laadli Media and Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity 2021. Having been with Laadli since its inception, for which I express my immense gratitude to my dear uncle Bobby's sister and Dr. Sharda, it is such a privilege for me to be hosting this beautiful evening. Before we celebrate the amazing work of our winners, let the curtain raiser play.
When a girl child is an equal citizen, she has the right to equal opportunities. She has a right to live. If the girl child has the right to live, she has the right to equal opportunities, equal education, an equal life throughout her life. Till then, there is work to be done.
It is a one-of-a-kind award for media sensitivity.
Through 2 decades of Population First and 11 editions of NLMAAGS, we are seeing this change strengthen. But we have miles to go on this path of change towards equality.
And friends, I'm absolutely impressed by Population First. And I was reading one of their sentences which says, every communication that goes into the public domain should be gender sensitive. Kya baat hai? Ameen. Ameen.
You can always say, I did something for women. I educated so many more women. I set up a shelter, etc., etc. But when you bring in sensitivity, then you bring about real change. Because all of us have seen more sensitivity come in, but we are far from perfect.
Over 11,000 plus entries over 11 editions. 14 languages. Nearly 1,250 awardees. 52 fellowships. Some positive changes, indeed.
Media is a mirror that exists not to flatter, like the mirror of Snow White's wicked stepmother, but to reveal that which is and what is lacking in our society, that which is flawed and must be corrected. It is the medium through which those who have no other voice can and should find expression, as some of our award winners have shown us today.
और लाडली गर्ल चाइल्ड जो इनिशिएटिव है वो बहुत ही खूबसूरत इनिशिएटिव है और बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें करता है और आज सारे मीडिया लोगों को फेलिसिटेट किया गया और आज जो 3 हमारे लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्डीज थे उनका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है in their fields and in life and for us has been just outstanding.
Extremely special because it's the most relevant award, I think, to what I've done. Gender sensitivity needs to be recognized in regular life, in daily spaces, in workplaces, in at home, and how we treat women and how we talk to them, because it's the small stuff that can actually damage a woman's self-worth, her feelings, confidence, and above all her identity as a woman.
But we have miles to go on this path of change towards equality.
चंचल चलिए उड़ चलिए चंचल चलिए उड़ चलिए
Championing equal opportunity by celebrating gender sensitivity. www.populationfirst.org.
Wow, what a thought. Do we let change happen, or do we steer change for a better world? Small changes could make a big difference, like the tremendous contribution by the Laadli Media Initiative through its tireless work over the past several years, whether it is the Laadli Media Awards, the sensitization workshops, media fellowships, or other engagement programs. It shows in the quality and the number of entries received for this year's awards, and the need to institute new segments for wider recognition of the work being done. Supported by UNFPA and the Royal Norwegian Embassy in India, these awards are being given to some amazing talent from the world of films, creative writing, theatre, advertisements, journalism, and more. Before I go any further, I would like to invite Mr. Bobby Sister to welcome everyone in his inimitable style. Over to you, Bobby.
Thank you, my lovely spokesperson for Laadli today, Sunita, for inviting me here to open the proceedings with my welcome speech. Good evening, my Laadlis and Laadlas. I have adopted this new way of addressing and welcoming everyone. Once again, we are all together to celebrate the national winners of Laadli Media and Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our guests, winners, and you, the viewers, as we raise the curtain on the 11th edition of these unique awards. These awards are a result of year-long enthusiasm to cull the very best from amongst a vast repertoire of work as diverse as films, books, advertisements, theatre, television, and journalism. My hearty congratulations to everyone who chose to be inclusive in this representation of gender and question the stereotypical norms. This success would not have been possible without the unwavering support of UNFPA and the Royal Norwegian Embassy in India. I would like to take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to our guest of honor, Mr. Sriram Haridass, Country Representative, UNFPA India, and Hans Jakob Frydenlund, Honorable Ambassador of Norway to India. Sir, forgive me if I haven't pronounced your name properly. I do not mean any respect. On the contrary, I'm very, very grateful to you for your presence here. A special welcome to Tanuja Gulati, Program Management Specialist, UNFPA, whose tremendous guidance has been with us through this journey from the very start. In fact, I must acknowledge the fact that it was she who guided me through the initial years of Population First, taught me all about NGOs, taught me all about population issues, taught me about gender issues. Every little bit of knowledge that I have, I really owe a lot, certainly a lot, to Anuja Gulati. Thank you, Anuja. A warm welcome to our chief guest, Mrinal Pande, the noted journalist, television personality, and author. A very, very special welcome to our stellar panel of jury, without whom identifying the rightful winners would have been a challenge indeed. The jury comprises very distinguished persons. Thank you for sparing your time, you wonderful people, and your presence and your participation in this whole event really encourages us to think that we are doing the right thing. Welcome again to Sunita and I want to thank her for hosting the event. It is always good to have your support, Senator. The Laadli song still ranks high amongst NGO curtain raisers. We also have Ashok Gurjale, a violin maestro from Hyderabad, and his young entourage to bring to us some riveting music. And I'm really looking forward to listening to them. Thank you, Nadira Babbar, for sharing a snippet of your wonderful play, Ji Jaisi Aapki Marzi. I've always been a very great admirer of yours, Nadira ji. Dolly Thakur, a lady who has always been there as a constant inspiration as well as a guide. A big welcome to you, Dolly, as always. You've been really great source of inspiration for us, and in spite of your multifarious activities, the amount of time and commitment that you have always given to the Laadli Media Awards is something that we are ever grateful for. Last but not the least, I would like to congratulate Dr. A.L. Sharda and her team for their efforts in putting together yet another edition of this unique initiative. I must really compliment and commend Dr. Sharda and her team for the wonderful work that they've been doing. They've been working very hard for many months to get this event together, as I said earlier, and they have really, in the end, produced a very high quality, high profile event. My hats off to them and my gratitude to them for their commitment and dedication. And thank you, Dr. Sharda, again. Once again, may I welcome all of you to this program.
Thank you, Bobby. That was a hearty welcome for your Laadlis and Laadlas. How apt. Dr. A.L. Sharda, what can I say about you? Director of Population First, the lady who has dedicated her life to promoting gender sensitivity in the media, the one who has envisioned these awards, and for whom I have the utmost respect and admiration. Join us to set the stage for the evening. Dr. Sharda, please.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to all. Today, I want to share an incident that remained etched in my mind. This happened 30 to 35 years back. I was traveling on a bus. When the bus halted at the bus stop, a lambada couple in traditional attire got onto the bus. The bus started with a jerk even before they could get to a vacant seat. The man lost balance and almost fell. There were giggles in the bus. His wife covered her face with her pallu and giggled too. The man balanced himself, had gone to her and slapped her tight. The sound of that thappad still echoes in my ears. Suddenly, there was total silence. Everyone lowered their eyes. His wife stood there, humiliated, with tears in her eyes. We all knew that the slap was meant not just for her, but for all of us who giggled. I too remained silent, felt terribly humiliated, but I did nothing like the others. I keep wondering what would have been the response of the people if he had slapped me or another man on the bus. I'm sure someone would have protested. Why did we not do anything when he hit his wife? Did we consider it as a private matter between the couple, even when it had happened in a public space? Many questions, and I feel guilty even today for my inaction. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because our award winner in the feature film category, the film Thappad, deals with this normalization of silence. Our OTT film, The Great Indian Kitchen, talks of the drudgery, repression, and lack of choice in the lives of women. And our theatre award winner, Ji Jaisi Aapki Marzi, also speaks about violence against women and the silence that surrounds it. What is heartening though is all these stories end with women reclaiming their dignity and life of their own choice. We have with us today a real life example, our gender champion, Flavia Agnes, who faced violence but has emerged as a pillar of strength to thousands of women who are supported by Majlis, her NGO, to fight their legal battles to claim their rights. We are very happy to have instituted the Laadli Gender Champion Award in memory of Kamala Bhasin, Sonal Shukla, and Gail Ombe, who scripted the feminist movement in India and South Asia. We could not have had anyone better than Flavia, who worked with them closely to receive the inaugural award. Thank you, Flavia. We are honored to present the Laadli of the Century Award to Shama Zaidi, a trailblazer in Bollywood in fields as diverse as scripting, directing, costume designing, etc. Thank you, Shamaji, for accepting our award. We have Ms. Tanuja Chandra receiving the Woman Behind the Screen Award, who is taking forward the example set by Shamaji and reasserting the role of women behind the screen. Thank you, Tanuja, for accepting the award. We are honored to present the Laadli Lifetime Achievement Award to Padma Shri, Neelam Mansingh Chowdhry, the doyen in the field of theatre. Thank you, Neelamji, for accepting the award. Today, we are felicitating some great creative content in advertising, films, books, and television, along with the best media reports and programs chosen from the regional winners. I congratulate all the awardees and wish them more power. We are looking at a new generation of content creators who are redefining gender roles in their lives, defying the old regressive practices, and standing up for an inclusive society. Their voices need to be heard and amplified to build a new world. And I'm sure the Laadli Media Advocacy Initiative is doing its bit to do that. Lend your voice, lend your support, and share your resources with us to keep us going. UNFPA and the Royal Norwegian Embassy in India are doing precisely that. They believe in the cause, acknowledge our commitment to change the world, and are lending the much needed funding and technical support. Big thank you to UNFPA and the Royal Norwegian Embassy in India. We are honored to have amongst us Padma Shri Mrinal Pande, the noted journalist, television personality, and an author, as our chief guest for the evening today. Currently, the group editorial advisor to National Herald Group, she has many accomplishments to her credit, and I look forward to hearing and learning from her experience. The two performances today also reflect the spirit of the awards. While the snippet from Ji Jaisi Aapki Marzi highlights the violence that women face, the performance of the Arabi School of Performing Arts elevate our spirit, giving us hope for a better world. We also have a touching rendition of a poem by Nadira Ji. Thank you so much, ma'am. My heartfelt gratitude to Shri Ashok Gurjale for putting the performance together for us at such a short notice. We have Sunita Rao presenting the event today. I'm sure her bright smile and energy would light up the stage. Thank you, Sunita. And finally, a big thank you to all those who are involved in putting this event together. Over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, Dr. Sharda, for spotlighting Laadli's journey over the years and the future outlook. We now come to my favorite part of the evening, music. We have young students of Hyderabad-based RB, the Center for Performing Arts, and their guru Ashok Gurjale play Vatapi Ganapati, a beautiful hymn composed in Sanskrit by Muthuswami Dikshitar. It is a sacred invocation of Lord Ganesh, who is believed to open the doors to possibilities. Arabi is a unique initiative that trains and nurtures young talent exclusively in violin. It was founded by Ashok Gurjale himself, a violin maestro in the Carnatic tradition of music, and who has trained thousands of students over the years. He is a recipient of several awards, including the Kala Ratna Award from the government of Andhra Pradesh. Let's take a few moments to enjoy this violin rendition as we come together to pray for the darkness to leave and newer paths to open for us. That was truly moving. And what was gratifying for me personally was to see so many young girls taking to this rich tradition so effortlessly. We begin the awards event with winners under the books category for powerful books that use the power of the written word to bring home critical issues. The first award in books, English autobiography category, goes to Queeristan, written by Parmesh Shahani and published by Amazon. A refreshingly candid, in-depth study of the LGBTQ community, the book explores the societal prejudice and the marginalization of the community. It also foresees the effect of the group's integration into the corporate world through the institution of sensitive and inclusive policies. Congratulations! Let us hear what Parmesh Shahani has to say on winning the award.
Hi, this is Parmesh Shahani. I'm the author of Queeristan, and I'm just so happy and excited that the book has won the Laadli Media Award for Gender Sensitivity 2021. I want to thank everyone at the Laadli Media Awards, at Population First, at UNFPA, the entire jury for thinking of my book worthy enough to be the winner. I just, especially all the jury members, thank you so much for taking this leap of faith and expanding the idea of gender sensitivity to include various aspects of sexuality as well. So just widening this and thinking of it as a continuum as well. I'm very, very grateful for that.
Thank you so much, Parmesh, and best wishes from the Laadli team. The second award in books, English non-fiction category, goes to Fearless Freedom by Kavita Krishnan and published by Penguin Random House, India. If you want to be safe, while you want freedom, sets the stage of this seminal work by Kavita Krishnan. The book juxtaposes the commonly held norms of safety with what is true personal freedom and makes a path-breaking case for greater equality, political and economic independence, and most of all, personal freedom for women. Congratulations. Let us hear what Kavita Krishnan herself has to say on winning the award.
I'd like to express warm thanks towards the jury members who have seen fit to select Fearless Freedom for the Laadli Media Award in the non-fiction category this year. I wrote this book out of a great sense of urgency. I feel that Fearless Freedom is something that is not a khayali pulav. It's not some faraway fool's paradise dream. It is something that we can achieve for women, for LGBTQ persons, and we can only achieve all of that if we have fearless freedom for every citizen and every person in the country. And I would like to thank Penguin, and in particular my editor Mansingh Subramaniam, for making sure that I did actually complete this book in spite of its final moments being written in when the Shaheen Bagh movement for equal citizenship was going on. I would also, of course, like to acknowledge UNFPA and Population First, who are involved with the Laadli Media Awards. And I would finally like to thank all the readers.
Thank you so much, Kavita, and best wishes from the Laadli team. The next award goes to The Water Phoenix by Rituparna Chatterjee. Published by Bloomsbury Publishing, it is an extraordinary exposition of the journey of a child who was sexually abused several times through her childhood. The book portrays a young girl's trauma, her growing up in an echo chamber of self-doubt, and her catharsis as she rejects the accepted norms to rise through the morass and emerge a healed person. Wow. Congratulations. Let us listen to Rituparna Chatterjee.
The Water Phoenix actually provides solutions on what you can do, how you can feel safe and have a truly fulfilling life. I think that's what distinguishes this book. And I am so grateful to Population First, to UNFP, to the jury members for selecting The Water Phoenix for the Laadli Media Awards for Gender Sensitivity 2021. I am so grateful that you recognized just how important the story is, because it has taken a lot of courage to write this book. I have faced backlash from family members saying middle class girls don't do this. So being shamed for it, while at the same time my DMs being full of people saying they're suicidal and now they're not. And thank you for telling this, because this is my story and it's so cookie cutter. So it's been very overwhelming, and I'm so grateful. I'm also super grateful to my publisher Bloomsbury, the entire Bloomsbury team, but especially my publisher Prerna Vora, who believed in the book so much just from the first 3 chapters itself. My agent and dear friend Kanishka Gupta, who actually insisted that The Water Phoenix be a memoir and not a novel like I wanted it to be, and we got into a bit of an argument. And for the same reasons, probably why UNFP Population First and the jury member selected this book, that it's a real story, and so that makes it, makes the reader feel a little less, what shall I say, alone, more validated, because these are exactly the emails that have come through sharing them. And lastly, I'd like to thank my son Rayo, who reminds me every single day that childhood never ends, the good, the bad, whatever it is, and we must make the most of it. So thank you again very much.
Thank you so much, Rituparna. All the very best to you. The next award for Hindi non-fiction goes to Aurat Ka Safar, Jail Se Jail Tak, by Seema Azad, published by Agora Prakashan. The book chronicles the lives of 27 incarcerated women who have been victims of barbaric patriarchy and casteism. She noted their stories during her term in the Naini Central Jail and studied the implication of the social backgrounds on the delivery of justice to them. Congratulations, and over to you, Seema Azad.
मेरी किताब को इस अवार्ड के लिए चुने जाने के लिए लाडली मीडिया के आयोजकों, पॉपुलेशन फर्स्ट और जूरी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। ये किताब मैंने इसलिए लिखी थी कि मैं ये बता सकूं कि पितृसत्ता और अपराध का क्या रिश्ता है, क्योंकि जेल में रहते हुए मैंने देखा कि वहाँ रहने वाली बहुत सारी औरतें इसलिए जेल में हैं क्योंकि समाज में पितृसत्ता है। पितृसत्ता के कारण उनसे बहुत सारे अपराध हुए, या फिर उन्होंने अपराध नहीं किए फिर भी वो जेल में पहुंच गई। इस किताब में ऐसी औरतों का वर्णन है कि कहानियां दी गई हैं। इस किताब को ये अवार्ड मिला, इसके कारण से ये बात कि पितृसत्ता इस समाज के लिए कितनी घातक है ये स्थापित होगी, इसलिए मुझे बेहद खुशी है। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much, Seema. All the best from us. The award for the next category, Hindi fiction, goes to Vandana Rag for her book Bisat Par Jugnu, which is set in a historical background. Published by Rajkamal Prakashan, the novel captures the inspiring stories of women from 2 distinct countries, India in the backdrop of 1857 and China in the aftermath of the 2 Opium Wars, who share a similar background of coming out of war and of fighting the tyranny of the colonist powers. These common women from Delhi to Patna and from the Canton region of China appear like tiny rays of hope, much like the fireflies or jugnus in darkness. Congratulations. Let us hear from Vandana Rag on winning the award.
इसे सम्मानित करने के लिए मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ पॉपुलेशन फर्स्ट संस्था का, UNFPA का और जूरी के माननीय सदस्यों का। मैं आभारी हूँ राजकमल प्रकाशन की, जिन्होंने बहुत धैर्य से इस किताब के पूरे होने का इंतजार किया और मुझे संबल दिया। एडिटर सत्यानंद निरुपम का खास तौर से शुक्रिया कि वे किताब के आइडिया से लेकर उसके पूरे होने तक इस कदर आत्मीय भाव से जुड़े रहे। पुनः एक बार फिर से बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much, Vandana, and best wishes from the Laadli team. Let me now invite Ms. Kiran Manral, whom I had the pleasure of meeting with while you were on the jury, to say a few words about the selection process. Kiran Manral is an author, TEDx speaker, columnist, journalist, researcher, festival curator, and entrepreneur.
Hi, this is Kiran Manral. I was honored and delighted to be part of the jury on the Laadli Media Awards this year. I must thank Dr. Sharda and her team at the Laadli Population First for having invited me and given me this opportunity. I'm indeed honored to be judging. That's a huge responsibility to bear. Such a prestigious award. Reading the entries made me realize just how much of a yeoman service the Laadli Awards do. They put the focus firmly on writing that highlights women's issues of gender discrimination, issues of violence against women, the various issues that we know about, we hear about, we read about, but we sort of put on the back burner most times. And through these awards, Dr. Sharda and her team are putting the focus firmly on these issues. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiran. May I now invite Mr. Sriram Haridass, Country Representative UNFPA India, our guest of honor, to share his thoughts. Mr. Haridass, a national of Sri Lanka, brings with him over 18 years of experience in strategic planning and programming in both development and humanitarian contexts. Prior to joining UNFPA India, he served in UNFPA Sierra Leone, where in addition to overseeing the implementation of large-scale donor-funded projects, he also coordinated UNFPA's response to the Ebola crisis. Mr. Sriram Haridass, welcome and over to you.
Good evening, everyone. It is my privilege to be with you again this evening after the successful launch of the regional awards last month. I would like to begin by congratulating our partner Population First for their consistent effort in engaging with the media to positively influence and shape perceptions and practices related to gender norms through the Laadli campaign. The campaign has been challenging gender stereotypes in news reporting, advertisements, and films through various strategies, and the award even today to facilitate positive efforts of media and communication persons for including a gender perspective in their stories is one critical strategy that has encouraged more and more journalists to filter their stories using a gender lens. I was informed that the number and quality of entries for the awards has been improving over the years, and it was extremely heartening that in addition to the 71 award winners from the 4 regions, 27 jury appreciation certificates also had to be given. With consistent engagement over the years, it is encouraging to note the increased discourse on promoting gender equality within the media and advertising community. In recent years, I understand the proactive efforts to mainstream gender sensitivity have not been limited to media content, but media leaders and regulatory bodies have taken these discussions into their work culture as well. What started as awards is now a way the industry thinks and works. I would like to congratulate all award winners, not just for having written gender-sensitive stories, but because I believe each of you would be the change makers and help lead a movement for a socially responsive and gender-inclusive media. I understand that all media persons have been on the forefront during the COVID pandemic, reporting on a range of issues, and it is really commendable how you have reported on people in vulnerable situations and brought to the forefront stories of marginalized women, girls, and persons with alternate gender identities and their trials and tribulations during these difficult times. It is particularly appreciable that Team Population First, under the able guidance of Dr. A.L. Sharda, has worked against all odds to put these events together as an online event. I hope you can continue to keep the momentum of change going. Finally, I would like to thank the Royal Norwegian Embassy in India for their consistent support for work on enhancing the value of women and girls by engaging with the media and civil society and strengthening system to respond to women and girls in distress. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Haridass, for sharing your views.
She's a giver, she's a winner, she's a queen. She's a lover, she's a giver, she's a winner, she's a queen. She's a lover, she's a giver, she's a winner, she's a queen. चंचल ये सबसे भली ये है छोटी सी परी है लाडली
What you just heard was my rendition of the Laadli song. I have always felt extremely emotional when it came to this particular cause because it's very, very close to my heart. And I've been with Laadli way before I got one of my own. I have spoken about the growing up of the little Laadli from a little nutcut girl to a grown woman and everything that she goes through. And it is this emotion which has basically been the impetus for everyone on this beautiful, hard-working team. And I am privileged to be a part of this team. Let us move on to the awards in journalism. As most of you are aware, the regional event of the Laadli Media and Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity 2021 was held a couple of weeks ago. The next set of awardees are chosen from these 98 regional winners. The award for category Electronic Issue-Based Program goes to TV9 Telugu for Kanikaram Leni Brokerlu, Valanu Ammesaru. I kind of understand that because I am Telugu. A report that exposes the vicious system of trafficking women from the Anantpuram district, which faces a severe famine and drought condition. May we have the AV, please?
కదిరి మండలంలోని ఎగువపల్లి వైపు కదిలాం. ఇక్కడ ఎంతో మంది మోసపోయిన మహిళలు పనిప్పిస్తామన్న మాయమాటలు నమ్మి వ్యభిచార కూపాల్లో నరకం అనుభవించిన యువతులు. చిన్న వయసులోనే పెళ్లి చేశారు. భర్త అత్తమామల నుంచి వేధింపులు. ఆడపిల్ల పుట్టిందని రోజు టార్చర్. బిడ్డని తీసుకుని పుట్టింటికొస్తే తల్లిదండ్రులు వలసపోయారు. ఏం చేయాలో తెలీదు. అది కరువు కాలం. వర్షాల్లేవు, పనులు లేవు. చిన్నపిల్లతో దిక్కుతోచని స్థితిలో నాగమ్మ అనే మహిళ పరిచయమైంది. దాహంగా ఉందేమో, కాస్త కూల్ డ్రింక్ తాగు అని ఇచ్చింది. అది తాగిన తర్వాత ఏమీ తెలియలేదు. కళ్ళు తెరిచి చూస్తే మహారాష్ట్రలోని భివండిలో ఉంది.
Congratulations. May I request Team TV9 to say a few words, please.
Thank you, Laadli. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement. TV9's entry, Anaganaga Apuru, has been selected national awards also. This is the result of our teamwork and collective work, and I'm extremely happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and keep up the good work. The next award in the electronic category goes to Vandana for electronic news feature Periods par Mon and Sportswomen par Teni Asar in BBC Gujarati. So I'm a Bombay girl, I should have said that right. The 6-minute report elaborates the difficulties being faced by sportswomen during their menstruation cycle, including lack of toilets, apathetic attitude of the coaches and authorities, and their own inhibitions about letting authorities know about their respective cycles. May we have the AV, please, and see what these brave women are telling us.
ઉત્તર પ્રદેશના નાનકડા ગામમાં છોકરાઓ સાથે દંગલ. ત્યાંની કોમનવેલ્થ ગેમ્સ અને એશિયન ગેમ્સમાં મેડલ જીતવા સુધીની સફરમાં દિવ્યા કાકરાને કેટલાય પડકારો પાર કર્યા છે. એ પણ કુસ્તી જેવી પુરુષ પ્રધાન રમતમાં. પણ એક પડકાર એવો છે જેની સામે ઘણા મહિલા ખેલાડીઓ હજુ પણ જજુમી રહ્યા છે. અને એ છે પીરિયડ્સ.
कोच को नहीं बता पाते कि हमें ये प्रॉब्लम है. फिर दूसरा, टॉयलेट्स भी अच्छे नहीं होते कि जाके चेंज करे, फिर बार जाए, कोचेस को क्या बोले.
Congratulations, Vandana. May I request you to say a few words, please?
Big thanks to the jury for selecting this report on Indian sportswomen and the silence on periods for this award, especially in a year when they have done so well at the Olympics and the Paralympics. And I really feel that if we are able to bring some focus on such topics via journalism, our purpose is solved to some extent. And big thanks to Prem, who helped me shoot and edit this report, and all my family members and all my team members.
Thank you, and we look forward to more such insightful features. Moving to the print category. The first award goes to Juhi Smita for her print newspaper article, Mahilaon ko Intezar. Unke swasthya, shiksha, और आर्थिक नीतियों पर कौन करेगा बात in Prabhat Khabar, an effective articulation of the aspiration of millions of women who are waiting to be represented in political decision making and the importance of giving a voice to the majority constituents of Bihar voters. Congratulations, Juhi Smita. May I request you to say a few words, please?
धन्यवाद मेरे इस आर्टिकल को जनहित कर प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए। महिलाओं को इंतजार उनके स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षा और आर्थिक नीतियों पे कौन करेगा बात। इस आर्टिकल के जरिए मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि हम महिलाएं खुद आगे आकर अपने हक के बारे में जानें और अपने साथ साथ औरों को भी जागरूक करें, क्योंकि वक्त आ गया है कि हम महिलाएं मुखर होकर अपनी बातों को सभी के सामने रखें।
Thank you, Juhi, and all the very best for your future writings. The next award goes to C. Vanuja for print magazine article for Nirbhaya Nunchi Dishadaka in Veekshanam Mantri magazine. The article looks at the cases of Nirbhaya and Disha as it powerfully examines the roots of the pervasive rape culture in our society. Congratulations. May I request Vanuja to say a few words, please?
Thank you, Laadli Media, for giving me National Award for my article, Nirbhaya Nunchi Disha Daka, that is Nirbhaya to Disha. This is a close to heart kind of article because I've been working on this issue since Nirbhaya happened. I thank Veekshanam Mantri magazine for publishing it and other women's magazines for republishing it also. I thank Laadli Media jury for recognizing this article and recommending this for the award. Thanks again.
Thank you, Vanuja. Please continue to inspire young girls with your brave writing. The next award goes to Navami Sudhish for print newspaper feature Don't Set Us Straight in the Hindu. It presents an eye-opening narrative of the reprehensible attempts made by the families, unethical health professionals and pseudo-therapists to undermine the physical, emotional and legal well-being of LGBTQ+ individuals. Congratulations, and over to you, Navami.
Namaste everyone. It's indeed a pleasure to receive the National Laadli Media Award for Gender Sensitivity. My story that is published in the Hindu Sunday magazine, it's basically about this notorious practice of conversion therapy and how the sexual minorities in India are still subjected to it. Thank you Population First for acknowledging my work and selecting it for the National Award. I'm also thankful to my editorial team for their consistent support. Thank you.
Thank you, Navami, and we wish you many more awards in the years to come. The next award goes to Sharanya Manivanan in the category Print Magazine Feature in English for Desire and Gender in 2 novels about hereditary dancers, published in The Caravan. This unusual piece, dissecting 2 novels, looks at how hereditary dancers have been invisibilized, understudied, or appropriated over the decades and relegated to the periphery of the society, as it explores various themes like the male gaze, prejudice, double standards, sensuality, bigotry, and narcissism. Congratulations, what an interesting topic. The award in print newspaper investigative story goes to Parikshit Nirbhay for Delhi mein Aadhi Fisdi Purush Bhi Nahi Karate Nasbandi in Amar Ujala. A thorough investigation, the story looks at the lower levels of vasectomy as opposed to tubectomy and makes a strong case for promoting equal participation of men in planning the families. Congratulations, Parikshit Nirbhay. May I request you to say a few words, please?
नमस्कार, पॉपुलेशन फर्स्ट और बाकी सभी टीम का मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत आभार। नेशनल मीडिया लाडली के लिए चयन किया है, मुझे बहुत खुशी है और बड़ा अच्छा महसूस हो रहा है। और अमर उजाला से इस तरीके की चीज़ें पहले बहुत ही कम होती थी और अब मैंने प्रयास किया और वो चीज़ें हुई हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है और ये सफ़र आगे भी जारी रहे, यही मेरी कामना है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Parikshit, and all the best. The next award for print magazine investigative story goes to Siddharth Dubey for Minding Their Business, published in The Caravan. It provides a detailed and inspiring description of the emancipatory grassroots movement that unfolded in the 90s by those who sold sex as a profession. Congratulations, and over to Siddharth.
Hello, I'm Siddharth Dubey. I'm deeply honored to have been awarded the Laadli Prize for Investigative Journalism. That long article on the tragically unfinished struggle for sex workers' rights is the culmination of over 30 years of research and work on that issue. And so I'm deeply touched, more than I can even express, for it to have been recognized with the Laadli Award. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we look forward to much more writing like this from you. For the print news report, the award goes to Nitasha Nattu from Maharashtra, Trafficked Girls Script Success Stories at Deonar Shelter, published in the Times of India. A truly motivating collection of cases of minor trafficked girls who break the shackles and take to professions of their choice. The report also illustrates how they become role models for others at the shelter. Congratulations. I now invite Nitasha Nattu to say a few words.
Thank you, Population First, for this recognition. The Laadli Award is unique in the sense that it encourages journalists to look for stories on gender sensitivity. My story talks about how, if given an equal opportunity, everyone can achieve their dreams. I would like to thank my editors at the Times of India for giving me a platform to narrate this story. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha, and we look forward to more such eye-opening reports. Our next award for print news report goes to Sadaf Modak for Maharashtra. 80 cases of child marriage stopped. 16 FIRs filed since lockdown enforced, published in the Indian Express. It presents a keen study of the incidence, causes and efficacy of rescue measures of child marriages in Maharashtra and is replete with data and case studies. A lot of hard work there. Congratulations. I now invite Sadaf Modak to speak a few words.
Thank you to Laadli Media Awards for recognizing a daily news report which highlighted the tragic consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown which followed, which had an impact on girls across the country. I would also like to thank my colleagues at the Indian Express and my family. And most of all, I'd also like to thank all my friends who constantly help me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sadaf, and we wish you all the very best for the years to come. The next set of awards will be recognizing the web category, which is fast gaining footprints across all sections of news consumers. The first award goes to Dr. Shantanu Abhyankar for his web blog, Tibai Aniti Sabha. Shantanu Abhyankar's blog traces the inability of a 9-month pregnant woman to access timely help, to save her laying open the apathy of the doctors, systemic red tapeism, absent healthcare workers, and the attitude of family, in particular, menfolk. It starkly exposes the inadequacy of the healthcare network in remote areas of Maharashtra. Congratulations. Dr. Shantanu Abhyankar, may I request you to say a few words, please?
Thank you, Population First. It is indeed a great pleasure to accept this national honor and see that the idea of gender equality and gender sensitization is taken ahead. The thing that I decided after I was given the news of this award was to translate all my writings, which are especially about gender and gender sensitivity, into English. And I believe that that is what awards are meant for, just to give you a big boost, a big go ahead. So thank you all for this big boost and a big go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, and hope you continue to spotlight such issues. The award for web campaign goes to boond.co for #periods and patrakars, media sensitivity and advocacy toolkit on discussions and reportage on menstruation. A complete set of guidelines for sensitive reportage, which is crucial in a culture where menstruation is weaponized to discriminate against women. Congratulations. Over to team boond.co.
Hi Laadli, thank you so much for honoring Boond for the Periods and Patrika campaign. We thank all menstruators and non-menstruators for helping us build this campaign.
This is a celebration of our work with people with disabilities, the Dalit Adivasi Bahujan community and queer folks and everybody else who responded to our survey.
The toolkit is all about making the public discourse and reportage around menstruation inclusive and holistic.
The toolkit is now available for download on www.boond.co. Please do reach out to us for collaborations, especially if you work in the media, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you and all the best. Our next award in this segment goes for the category Web Documentary. And it goes to Anna Kirti George for Asha Worker Koppam Oru Divasam on youtube.com Dual News. The documentary sketches the difficult working conditions and poor wages and effectively brings to public notice the selfless care by this unalienable part of the state health workforce. May we have the AV, please? Thank you.
ഒരു മഹാമാരിക്കാലത്തെ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിലേക്ക് മാത്രമായി ഒതുക്കി നിർത്താവുന്നവരല്ല ആശാ വർക്കർമാർ.
ഇതിന്റെ സമയത്ത് നിരീക്ഷണമാണ്. പക്ഷെ അതിന്റെ കൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾ വീടുകളിൽ പോകണം. കുട്ടികളെ കുത്തിവെപ്പ് ഇപ്പൊ ആ കോവിഡിന്റെ ആ സമയത്തുമ്പൊക്കെ എടുക്കണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പം തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട് കുത്തിവെപ്പും പ്രതിരോധ കുത്തിവെപ്പ് കാര്യങ്ങളും.
2005 കേന്ദ്ര ആരോഗ്യ കുടുംബക്ഷേമ മന്ത്രാലയത്തിന്റെയും ദേശീയ ഗ്രാമീണാരോഗ്യ മിഷന്റെയും ഭാഗമായി അക്രഡിറ്റഡ് സോഷ്യൽ ഹെൽത്ത് ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റ് അഥവാ ആശ നിലവിൽ വരുന്നത്. ഗ്രാമങ്ങളുടെ ആരോഗ്യസ്ഥിതി മെച്ചപ്പെടുത്തുന്നതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി അതത് ഗ്രാമങ്ങളിലെ തെരഞ്ഞെടുക്കപ്പെട്ട സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് പരിശീലനം നൽകി പ്രാഥമിക ആരോഗ്യ പ്രവർത്തകരാക്കുക എന്ന ലക്ഷ്യത്തോടെയാണ് ഈ പദ്ധതി ആരംഭിക്കുന്നത്.
Congratulations, Anna Kirti George. May I request you to say a few words, please?
Hello everyone, it's a great honor to be the recipient of this prestigious award. Thank you so much Laadli Media Awards for Gender Sensitivity and Population First for this recognition for my documentary Asha Worker Kopam Oru Divasam or a Day with an Asha Worker. I would like to dedicate this award to all the Asha workers in our country who work day and night with very minimal salary and limited facilities to keep our society strong and healthy. I would like to thank Srija, the Asha worker we portrayed in this docu, my crew members Ashil and Safan, and the entire team of Dole News for their support.
Thank you, Anna Kirti George. More power to you. The award for web feature goes to Aishwarya Amrit Vijayaraj. For महिलाओं के चरम सुख यानी orgasm पर चुप्पी नहीं बात करना जरूरी है in feminisminindia.com. This bold feature looks at the patriarchal narrative around female orgasm and the history of the female sexual behavior. Congratulations, Aishwarya. May I request you to say a few words, please?
हेलो, मेरा नाम ऐश्वर्या अमृत विजयराज है. मेरे आर्टिकल महिलाओं के चरम सुख यानी ऑर्गेज्म पर चुप्पी नहीं बात करना ज़रूरी है, जो कि फेमिनिज्म इन इंडिया हिंदी पर प्रकाशित हुआ था, उसे द नेशनल लाडली मीडिया अवार्ड फॉर एडवर्टाइजिंग एंड जेंडर सेंसिटिविटी 2021 वेब कैटेगरी में चुना गया है. आई एक्सेप्ट दिस अवार्ड एंड आई एम डीपली ऑनर्ड. थैंक यू.
Thank you, and all the very best to you. The last award in the journalism segment goes to Web Investigative Story to Mohammad Asghar Khan for कोरोना की एक कहानी ऐसी भी, देश में 9 लाख सेक्स वर्कर जो इसी पेशे के बूते बच्चों की पढ़ाई के लोन बूढ़ी मां का इलाज कराती थी, अब आर्थिक तंगी से जूझ रही in bhaskar.com. The story covers the effects of the pandemic on the sex workers and the problems being faced by them in taking care of their children, their aged parents and families. Congratulations, Mohammad Asghar Khan. May I request you to say a few words, please?
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम असगर है. मैं बीते 7 साल से झारखंड में पत्रकारिता कर रहा हूं. इधर 2-3 साल से मैं फ्रीलांसिंग कर रहा हूं, यानी इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिज्म कर रहा हूं. पिछले साल मैंने सेक्स वर्कर पर दैनिक भास्कर के लिए एक स्टोरी की थी. खास करके लॉकडाउन में किस तरह का संकट झेलना पड़ा सेक्स वर्कर को, उसे लेकर के दैनिक भास्कर में मैंने एक स्टोरी की थी, जिसके लिए मुझे नेशनल लाडली मीडिया अवार्ड 2021 से सम्मानित किया गया. इसके लिए पूरी लाडली की टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you, and we look forward to more such investigative stories. Now for some poetry. Let's take a break and listen to a heart-touching poem penned by none other than Nadira Babbar, the renowned theatre personality. She takes us through the many facets of women in our existing patriarchal milieu.
मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं, मैं कहाँ हूँ, मैं कहीं नहीं. मैं उस छोटे से परमाणु में थी जिससे ये सारी सृष्टि बनी. मैं हव्वा के दिल में धड़की, खुदा की सजा से बहुत डरी. फिर अपने आदम का हाथ पकड़ लाखों साल चलती रही. मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं, मैं कहाँ हूँ, मैं कहीं नहीं. मैं चलती रही, मैं पलती रही, वक्त के सांचों में ढलती रही. मैं विष के प्याले पीती रही, परीक्षाओं की आग में जलती रही. मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं, मैं कहाँ हूँ, मैं कहीं नहीं. उठ के गिरी, गिर गिर के उठी, मंडी में बोली लग के बिकी. पाकीज़ा बनी, पवित्रता बनी, पतिता कहीं, उल्टा कहीं. मेरी बदन में कोख बनी, जीवन जनती, सृष्टा बनती. मैं कायनात रचने वाली, घर की मगर मैं जूती ही रही. मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं, मैं कहाँ हूँ, मैं कहीं नहीं. मेरी आंखें तारे झिलमिल, मेरे गालों पर काला तिल, मेरी जुल्फे जब लहराई, काली घटाएं तब छाई। मेरी जफा और मेरी वफा, मेरी अदा और मेरी हया, मेरा धोखा चाले मेरी, मेरी ममता मेरी राखी। मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं, मैं कहाँ थी, मैं कहीं नहीं। मैं अनादि से आजादी तक, मैं प्रथम तिथि, मैं अंतिम भी। मैं सागर में सागर मुझ में, बहती रहती सहती रहती, बढ़ती रहती उठती रहती, झूले की पेंगों से उठती। मैं अनंत अथाह शक्ति जैसी सबकी, लेकिन मैं दासी ही रही। पिता के नाम से जानी गई, भाई के नाम से पुकारी गई। सबको मैंने जन्म दिया, पर अपनी पहचान नहीं पाई। मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं। परिभाषा प्रेम समर्पण की, अभिलाषा कवि भावुक मन की। काजल बिंदी चूड़ी गजरा, कभी पायल बन के मैं झमकी। सीने पे झूलता मंगल सूत्र, मांग में सजता कुमकुम सिंदूर। घर की मैं लक्ष्मी कहलाई, वास्तव में केवल दासी बन पाई। मैं कब थी, मैं कब नहीं। सबने मेरा यौवन देखा, दुखती पीठ नहीं देखी। उभार देखे मेरे सीने के, फटती एड़ियां नहीं देखी। मैं अनादि से आजादी तक, मैं प्रथम तिथि में अंतिम भी। मैं सेना में खूब लड़ी, मैं संघर्षों में खूब भिड़ी। मैं पन्ना दाई, मैं सेंट जोन्स, फिर भी मैं अबला ही कहलाई। मैं कहाँ थी, मैं कहाँ नहीं। मैं कब थी, मैं कभी नहीं। मैं कहाँ थी, मैं कहाँ नहीं। मैं कब थी, मैं कभी नहीं।
Thank you, Nadira ji. Words fail me at this moment. So beautifully expressed what women go through. From the written word to the world of visuals, let us move to our next segment where we recognize some compelling ads for their gender sensitivity. I'm sure all of you will be familiar with most of them. We start with a special mention citation which is given to Dentsu Impact India and Paytm, for Paytm presents The Divide in the category Social Experiment. Congratulations Team Dentsu Impact India and Paytm. May we have the AV please?
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming to help us conduct this experiment today.
We were of different ages. We were made to stand in a line.
Now I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. If your answer is a yes, step forward. If it's a no, please step back. Here goes. Ready? Did you learn how to ride a bicycle before the age of 10? Did you learn music in school? Did you take any lessons in sports? And no, video games are not a sport, even if it has the word game in it. Did you learn how to iron your clothes while still in school? Take a step forward. If not, take a step back. If you can make tea or breakfast, not just for yourselves, please step forward. If not, take a step back.
In the beginning, I think the questions were more general. People were still going forward and backward. Questions like, it was funny to see the cooking question. There were a lot of men who went ahead and there were women who were going behind.
Do you usually make all the household bill payments yourself? Do you know the circle rate in your area? Do you know the price of gold today? Do you know the exact breakup of your salary?
As the questions unfolded, the stark difference came out visibly.
Do you know the details of the financial documents you're asked to sign? Have you bought a vehicle in your own name without consulting anybody? Have you bought insurance policies unassisted? Do you watch or follow the budget?
You think you're doing okay, but then you're like, okay, these are kind of important things that I don't look at.
Do you manage your own finances and earnings unassisted? Do you know how to invest in mutual funds? Do you know the difference between a mutual fund and an SIP? Do you make the investments for your family members or your spouse? Do you file your own income tax return? Now everyone who's in front, could you please turn around and look behind you? Initially when you guys started moving, there wasn't such a big gap. My question is, when did this gap start to occur?
The minute the questions became about managing money, the gap between men and women became very clear and evident.
You know, women handling certain responsibilities regarding their own life, which were always passed on to someone else in the family or the men.
There was a slight unfairness I realized at that time. But at that point, it seemed normal. I was upset. I wanted to be at the front of the line. It's like, why don't I know this? Why am I not confident enough to say, yes, I am able to understand this?
It was quite an eye-opener for me because I always depended on the men of the family to take care of my investments and, plan my future.
I felt that obviously men are more into it than women. So eventually I did expect the gap to be there.
Over the years growing up, there were certain very traditionally masculine tropes that were assigned for him and certain traditionally feminine tropes that were assigned for me.
For women, it's practically debarred to learn to know and to focus on money.
I wish I had known from the beginning of my childhood and kind of thought about that I would be doing so much better.
Just actionable measures is what we want, really.
Quite a revelation there. I now invite the team to speak a few words, please.
Hi, on behalf of Densu and Paytm, I thank you Population First for acknowledging our effort in bringing out the invisible divide that exists between men and women when it comes to financial matters. With this communication, our intent was that we provoke or remind people that something somewhere is not correct. And I hope we've managed to do that and bring a small change among women. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The runner-up in advertising is Ogilvy India for category brand Dove. #StopTheBeautyTest. Beauty standards. Congratulations team Ogilvy India and Dove. May we have the AV now, please?
ये सिर्फ हमारी नहीं, देश की करोड़ों लड़कियों की कहानी है.
मैं है किस रेडी. चलो भी चलो, जल्दी करो. ऐ की दीदी, साड़ी पहनाने की बात हुई थी ना, फिर वजन दिखाई दे रहा है.
अब इसमें भी दिखाई दे रहा है.
हुन तुसी जल्दी करो, लड़के वाले आ गए ने.
इससे ढक लो बेटा.
जल्दी आ जा.
आजा बेटा.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
आजा नूर, आजा. फोटो में तो रंग साफ लग रहा था ना? बेटा, आप दोनों चाहो तो बाहर चाय पी लो. जानूर.
सीढ़ी लगाकर बात करना पड़ेगा आपकी राजेश्वरी को हमारे लड़के से.
जोक्स अपार्ट, अपने बाल स्ट्रेट करा लेना. भाई को नूडल्स नहीं पसंद.
ये दाग
कब तक चलेगी खूबसूरती की ये बदसूरत परख? आखिर कितनी खूबसूरती काफी है? डव, खामियां नहीं, खूबियां देखिए.
Quite a thought-provoking ad, I must say. I now invite the team to speak a few words, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Population First and the team of Laadli for recognizing the work that we have done on DAP. And I accept this award on behalf of a large team of agency people and my clients on DAP who have worked so hard to make this piece happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next runner-up in advertising is Lolintas for their ad, #IamMyType, Skincraft, India's only customized skincare and hair care regimen in the category Product. Congratulations, Team Lolintas and Skincraft. May we have the AV, please?
The world loves to stereotype. Short-haired ones are not the wife type. Long hair means the traditional type. The ones who cry are the oh-so-sensitive type. Let's see you bring someone to life. Married ones are the homely type. Oh, she's divorced, must be the career type. Some think we are not the expressive type. And a little black dress makes us the forward type. I'd rather you left swipe. Makeup on, she's high maintenance. Makeup off, let's keep our distance. To them, we're just the crazy hair type. Are you crazy enough to save a life? There goes the mummy type, like motherhood really has a type. The world loves to stereotype. But the truth is, we are our own type.
Skincraft. Get customized skin and hair care solutions that suit you. Because to us, you're not just an oily skin or curly hair type. Skincraft. I'm my type.
Well, I'm sure a whole lot of us could relate to that one. Request the team to speak a few words, please.
Hi everyone, on behalf of my director Alok Shetty and my entire production team at Lintas CX, I would like to thank the jury members and the entire team of Laadli and Population First for recognizing and appreciating our film for Skincraft. And I would especially like to thank the creatives, Puneet, Kishore and Naina for trusting us with this script and being such a supportive team members to us. And I would also like to thank my direction team, production team and post-production team for contributing towards the success of this film. Thank you everyone.
Thank you very much. The next runner-up is Taproot Densu for an ad that marks the 3rd anniversary of the #MeToo movement, nip in the bud, 3 years after #MeToo for iDiva for the category Public Service Announcement for Sexual Harassment. Congratulations, Team Taproot Densu and iDiva. May we have the AV, please?
I was full of dreams. I couldn't believe that I was finally getting to meet one of the most renowned architects in the country. I was so grateful that he could give me some time from his busy schedule. Even before I can knock on his glass door, he sees me and gives me a big warm smile. After a few pleasantries, he asked me to show my work. But as I open my laptop, he comes near me. A bit too close, I think, for a second. Like he wanted to have a closer look. He rests his hand on my shoulders like he's patting my back, but his hand lingers. I try to justify his actions. Perhaps he was treating me like his daughter. But he's clearly invading my personal space. The back of his hand is now brushing against my chest. After a minute, I see something unbelievable. His hand is on my thigh. I look at him and he's giving me that warm smile again. I begin to quiver. I'm beginning to lose my thoughts. My blood is racing to my skin. I lose control, slam my laptop shut and collect myself. He starts yelling at me. He asks me why I'm leaving. I tell him that I can't believe what has just happened. He yells again that I'm mad, that I should stay, that I should be humble, that I can't make a career with this kind of behavior. I walk out. Vikram Mehta, #MeToo.
Let us hear from the team.
Thank you everyone at Population First and Laadli for this very precious award. We at Dentsu are very pleased. And I must admit, writing and directing a film on this very sensitive subject of Me Too wasn't too easy. But thank God for all the help. Nip in the Bud is a tribute to every single woman who had the courage to speak about what happened in a moment where there was no one to corroborate her story. Hope this film continues to inspire women across the world to nip it in the bud. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now the next runner-up in the ad segment is a delightful film, #Anti-Dowry by Benchy Films for Kerala State Film Development Corporation for the category Public Service Announcement by a Government Agency. Congratulations to Team Benchy Films and Kerala State Film Development Corporation. Let's watch the AV.
Nice. എല്ലാം നല്ല മെയിൻറ്റൈൻഡ് ആണല്ലോ. ഗാർഡനർ ഉണ്ടോ?
അയ്യോ ഇല്ല ഇല്ല, ഞാനും അച്ഛനും കൂടിയാണ് മെയിൻറ്റെയിനിങ് ഒക്കെ.
ഓക്കെ. ഉണ്ണിമായ യെസ്. അതെ, നാട്ടിൽ സാധാരണ ഈ കല്യാണത്തിനൊക്കെ കാട്ടിക്കൂട്ടുന്ന പോലെ നമുക്കത് വേണ്ട. എൻ്റെ തോട്ട് പ്രോസസ്സ് കുറച്ച് ഡിഫറെൻ്റ് ആണ്. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് മനസ്സിലാകുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഓക്കെ.
അപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയാ ബാക്കി കല്യാണത്തിൻ്റെ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ?
അതെ, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, നമ്മുടെ ഫാമിലി കുറച്ച് മോഡേൺ ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ അത് ഈ വെഡിങ്ങിൽ റിഫ്ലക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. പിന്നെ ഈ മണ്ഡപത്തിലൊന്നും വെച്ച കല്യാണം വേണ്ടതേ, നമുക്കൊരു 5 സ്റ്റാർ ഹോട്ടലിൽ വെച്ച് നടത്താം.
നമുക്കിത്ര ആർഭാടമായിട്ടൊക്കെ നടത്തണോ? വളരെ ലളിതമായി നടത്തിയാൽ പോരെ?
അത് പറ്റില്ല. നമ്മുടെ റിലേറ്റീവ്സിൽ പലരും VIPs ആണ്. പിന്നെ വിദേശത്തു നിന്നും കുറച്ച് ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് നമ്മുടെ വെഡിങ്ങിന് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യും. 5 സ്റ്റാർ ഹോട്ടൽ തന്നെ മതി.
അപ്പോ ഈ വെഡിങ് ഓർണമെന്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ എങ്ങനെയാ?
എൻ്റെ അമ്മയുടെ കുറച്ച് ഓർണമെന്റ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. പിന്നെ
അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ച പോലെ തന്നെ. എടോ, ഈ കയ്യിലും കാതിലൊക്കെ സ്വർണം വാരി വലിച്ചിടുന്നത് പഴയ രീതിയാണ്. സോ അൺകൂൾ. കൂടിപ്പോയ 1-2 നല്ല ഡയമണ്ട് ഓർണമെന്റ്സ് അത് മതി.
നല്ലൊരു ഐഡിയ ആണ് കേട്ടോ. എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടും കല്യാണത്തിന് ഗ്രൂം ഗിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തൊരു ഡയമണ്ട് നെക്ലസ് തന്നെയായിട്ടിരുന്നത്.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not. Look, Neil, എൻ്റെ കയ്യിലുള്ള ഞാനിടും. ഇനി അതല്ല, അതിലും കൂടുതൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും വേണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നീല ഗിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. ഈ കല്യാണം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് എൻ്റെ മാത്രം ആവശ്യമല്ലല്ലോ, അല്ലേ?
പിന്നെ ഇതൊക്കെ ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ നിങ്ങൾ അധികം ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല. നമുക്ക് നല്ലൊരു വെഡിങ് പ്ലാനർ വെച്ച് ചെയ്യാം.
അപ്പോൾ ഒരു ചുരുങ്ങിയതൊരു 30-35 ലക്ഷം രൂപ വരും അല്ലേ?
അതിലും കൂടിയാലേ ഉള്ളൂ.
അപ്പോൾ ഒരു കാര്യം ചെയ്യാം, പകുതി എക്സ്പെൻസ് ഞാൻ എടുക്കാം, പകുതി സാറ് സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യല്ലേ?
നാട്ടു നടപ്പനുസരിച്ച് പെണ്ണിന്റെ വീട്ടുകാരല്ലേ ചെലവ് നടത്തുക.
നിങ്ങൾ മോഡേൺ ഫാമിലി ആണെന്നല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞേ, പിന്നെ എന്തിന് നാട്ടു നടപ്പ് നോക്കണം? ഒരു പെൺകുട്ടിയെ വളർത്തി വലുതാക്കി പഠിപ്പിച്ച് ജോലിക്കാരിയാക്കി വിവാഹം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ രണ്ടുപേരുടെയും കൂടെ ആവശ്യമല്ലേ? സാറിൻ്റെ മോനേക്കാളും ഒട്ടും താഴെയല്ല എൻ്റെ മോള്. സാർ എക്സ്പെൻസ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യണം, അതല്ലേ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു മോഡേൺ രീതി അല്ലേ?
പപ്പാ വാറങ്ങ.
എന്താടാ?
പറയാം, വാ.
രണ്ടുപേരും കൂടി ചേർന്നതങ്ങ് മുടക്കി അല്ലേ?
അമ്മേ, ഈ കല്യാണം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് 2 വ്യക്തികൾ തമ്മിലുള്ള ആത്മബന്ധം. അതില് കച്ചവടം കലരാൻ പാടില്ല, ഇല്ലേ അച്ഛാ? സമത്വത്തിനും തുല്യനീതിക്കും വേണ്ടി ശബ്ദമുയർത്തും. കൂടെ ഞങ്ങളുണ്ട്.
That was one spunky family. I would now like to invite the team to speak a few words, please.
Hi, my name is Sriram. I'm an ad filmmaker. I would like to thank the jury and the entire rating team for the citation for the Anti-Dowry ad. This would definitely serve as an encouragement in future to make more such ads. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We now move from citations to awards. The first award goes to Ogilvy India and Savlon Swasthya India for #No Hand Unwashed in the public service announcement category on hand wash. Congratulations, Team Ogilvy India and Savlon Swasthya India. May we have the AV, please?
मैं स्वप्ना। बचपन से मुझे पेंटिंग करना बहुत अच्छा लगता था। मेरी पेंटिंग्स को देखकर लोग मेरी हमेशा तारीफ करते हैं। बोलते हैं मेरा टैलेंट और मैं बहुत स्पेशल हैं। शायद आप में से कई लोगों से मैं बेटर पेंटर हूँ, पर उसके अलावा मैं बिल्कुल आप जैसी हूँ। मेरी सुबह भी शुरू होती है अलार्म क्लॉक के चिल्लाने से। आप जैसे ही मैं भी उठ के वापस थोड़ी देर सो जाती हूँ। चाय और अखबार के बिना मेरा दिन भी शुरू नहीं होता। दोस्तों से बातें करती हूँ, घर वालों से मैं भी रिमोट छुपाती हूँ। मुझे भी तैयार होने में थोड़ा वक्त लगता है। मैं भी खुद को पार्ट टाइम गार्डनर मानती हूँ। ऑनलाइन रहने की आदत आजकल मुझे भी लग गई है। और उन्नी अपम को आपके जैसे मैं भी कभी ना नहीं कह सकती। हाँ, पर एक बात है जो शायद आप में से बहुत लोग नहीं करते, पर मैं हमेशा करती हूँ। मैं हैंड वॉश इस्तेमाल करना नहीं भूलती। 20 सेकेंड हैंड वॉश करने से यू स्टे प्रोटेक्टेड फ्रॉम जर्म्स एंड डिजीजेस, कोरोना वायरस जैसे वायरस से भी। और मेरे लिए हैंड वॉश इस्तेमाल करना इतना इजी है, तो फिर आप क्यों नहीं करते हैंड वॉश?
That was wonderfully inspiring. May I request the team to speak a few words, please?
Through this really important piece of work last year, Swapna Augustine became a real-life hero for millions of people of our country. And today, on behalf of our entire team at Ogilvy, behind making this wonderful piece of work, as well as on behalf of our fantastic client partners at ITC Savlon, I'm really thankful of Population First and Laadli for bestowing this unique honor upon this piece of work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim Ogilvy. The next award goes to FCB India in the product category for Horlicks. Tum kab itne bade ho gaye? Congratulations, FCB India and Horlicks.
गाड़ी में रहो। क्या कर रही हो?
पापा को देखा था।
तुम कब इतने बड़े हो गए? हॉर्लिक्स, दूध, गेहूं, vitamins.
And who says that girls can't change a tire? Let's hear from the creative team. But I have to say one thing here. I really have observed people changing tires over the years, thinking one day I might have to do it. So the observation stage I am at.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashir Murthy and I head advertising for Horlicks at Hindustan Unilever. And we're very privileged to be recognized for the Horlicks tire film by you. I think it goes to show that we were surprised as well. And advertising has been responsible for propagating gender stereotypes. And if one ad can make a little bit of a difference, then we feel very proud to have done that. So thank you very much. And it's really an honor.
Thank you, Team FCB India. The next award goes to Leo Burnett for the category Corporate Social Responsibility for Whisper, Keep the Girls in School. Congratulations, Team Leo Burnett and Whisper India. May we have the AV, please?
Ring a chicking ding, ring a chicking ding. किताब खुली खुल गए हैं ख्वाबों के भी विंग कहानी सुनाई मस्ती पढ़ाई स्कूल ने शरारतों की चिड़िया उड़ाई जादुई दुनिया का हाथ जो छूटा ख्वाब बनते बनते टक से दे टूटा
विस्पर ने 4 करोड़ स्कूल गर्ल्स को पीरियड एजुकेशन और पैड्स दिए हैं. You can join us. When you choose Whisper Ultra, हम पैड्स डोनेट करेंगे to keep girls in school. Whisper.
Thank you for touching upon such an important and sensitive subject. I now invite the team to say a few words, please.
The Keep Girls in School program has been an incredible collaboration between Procter & Gamble Whisper and Team Leo Burnett. It spreads light on a really important issue that's so meaningful, also very, very personally close to my heart. That of 23 million girls who drop out of school year on year just because of periods. It's an absolute honor to win an award on such a meaningful project. But even more than that, I hope this award helps spread the light, spread the word, spread awareness for this very, very important cause. We all need to get behind it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team Leo Burnett. And thank you very, very much, Team Whisper. Coming to our final award for this segment, the Grand Prix. And it goes to Animal for Bhima Jewelry in the product category. Congratulations, Team Animal and Bhima Jewelry. May we have the AV, please? What a beautiful journey from introversion to stepping into her own. May I request the team to speak a few words about this wonderful work, please?
Thank you so much for this. Thank you, Laadli, for thinking of us and acknowledging this film of ours, which is really close to our hearts. Apart from Team Animal, we would like to share this award with our collaborators. Navya and Gayatri are fabulous clients, as well as, of course, Bharat Sikka, our incredible director. This film would not have been what it is without Meera, the person who portrayed the protagonist with such grace and acceptance. Finally, we dedicate this award to the trans community and all that they've gone through and all that they've conquered and that they continue to conquer. We are so grateful for having this opportunity to make this film and to bring the story to life, and we look forward to bringing such stories, bringing other stories to life as well in the coming future. Thank you so much, and thank you for the encouragement.
Thank you, Team Animal. I now invite Megha Tata, Managing Director, Discovery Communications India, to share her thoughts.
Hello, everyone. My name is Megha Tata. I'm the Managing Director of Discovery Communications South Asia. I had the privilege of being one of the jury of Laadli's Media Awards, which is one of the most sought-after awards of our industry. I think it's wonderful what Laadli is doing to really bring that conversation right up front on gender diversity and the representation of women in our advertising. I've seen some fabulous work and some really sad work over the period of years. I have had the privilege to have been associated with these awards with Laadli. But being an eternal optimist, I believe that things are changing. Have we reached the pinnacle of change? Absolutely not. Long way to go. But all these steps which Laadli is taking in acknowledging and awarding some of this amazing creative work which is taking place, I think will go a long way in getting more and more creative minds to be more conscious of creating advertising which addresses some of the gender stereotypical issues we deal with in our society. So more power to Laadli Media Awards and more power to our creative industry to really sit up and see that how you can make a difference in making the society at large a balanced society with a balanced view of how men and women both are looked and perceived in our industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Megha, for acknowledging the work being done by Laadli Media Initiatives. And yes, we still have a long way to go. We will, one step at a time, reach that critical mass. And now we present the Film Awards, something everybody loves. I'm sure many of us are keenly looking forward to them. The award for feature film theatrical release goes to Thappad. In a society where violence against married women is normalized, Anubhav Sinha's film Thappad comes as a breath of fresh air and a reminder that it may be just a slap, but maar nahi sakta hai. The film highlights the double standards of Indian society, as well as the psychological impact of domestic violence on a woman as it lays bare the omnipresent patriarchal mindset. This is a film I have watched and it really rings true. Congratulations, Mr. Anubhav Sinha, on your second consecutive Laadli Award for Gender Sensitivity. Over to you, Mr. Sinha. We would like to know how you feel.
I am so happy to receive the National Laadli Media and Advertising Award for Gender Sensitivity 2021 for our feature film Thappad. I humbly accept it on behalf of the entire team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha. Can we expect a hat trick now? The award for a feature film on the OTT platform goes to The Great Indian Kitchen, released on Amazon Prime. It is a riveting narrative that exposes the everyday lived-in reality of women stuck in the rut of everyday care work and drudgery with no recognition, no choice, and no freedom. Let us hear a few words from Mr. Geo Baby, the director of the film.
Hi, I am Geo Baby, director and writer of the movie The Great Indian Kitchen. This year, the National Laadli Media and Advertisement Award won the Great Indian Kitchen. This award for the Gender Sensitivity 2021. This is a happy and great moment for all of our crew members. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Geo Baby. Congratulations and all the very best from the Laadli team. We now come to the last category in films, documentary films, and the award goes to WOMB, Women of My Billion, a compelling documentation of stories from across the country of women who are subjected to violence regularly. The 90-minute film captures the 3,800-kilometer-long arduous journey of Srishti Bakshi as she walked from Kanyakumari to Kashmir as a way to raise awareness about all forms of violence against women. Kudos to you, Srishti Bakshi. Can we have the AV, please?
Every day I heard news about child molestation, rapes, domestic violence, acid attacks, dowry deaths. I was so frustrated that I wanted to go on a long walk and meet the women of my billion.
The girls should not wear short dresses.
वो लोग आपको हर चीज के लिए अपशगुनी मानते हैं।
मैं नहीं मानता हूँ कि एक आदमी सिंगल मैन कोई लड़की का रेप कर सकता है।
I think you give up somewhere.
Dowry is the biggest problem. Because if you have to pay, she'll always be a liability. This is all my movement is about. To connect people, to make them believe that change is possible.
To have this walk is kind of that little symbolic initiation of freedom.
लड़की अपने लिए कभी वॉइस अपना नहीं रेस कर पाई।
एक गहरी सांस लेंगे और फिर एक साथ आवाज उठाएंगे।
Congratulations, Srishti. Request you to please say a few words, and I would love to meet you in person.
Hello everyone, my name is Srishti Bakshi and I'm representing WOMB, Women of My Billion documentary. First and foremost, I would like to thank Population First, Laadli Media Awards, the jury for presenting WOMB, the best documentary title. Special shout out and thank you to Dr. Sharda, Dolly Thakur and Mr. S.V. Sista and my dear Malathi. Because of them, we have been programmed and now awarded. In order to get something you've never had, you have to do something you never did. With this thought in mind, I embarked on a journey across India on foot, a distance of 3,800 kilometers over 230 days. I did not do this alone. I had the support of a phenomenal team right from the start, the very first step that we took in Kanyakumari, and more people joined in as we progressed mile after mile. So today I would like to thank each and every member of the Crossbow Miles team and the WOMB documentary team to come together on this mission. And now today we can see how the voices of the women that we met on the road are reaching very, very important corridors of the world. So thank you everybody. And let's take a pause and enjoy the moment.
Thank you, Ms. Bakshi, and all the best. We are honored to have with us Hans Jakob Frydenlund, Honorable Ambassador, Norwegian Embassy in India, as our guest of honor. Before I move any further, I would like to invite him to say a few words.
It is with great pleasure and honor that I address you today on the occasion of the 11th edition of the Laadli Media and Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity. First, I would like to congratulate UNFPA and Population First on the work towards achieving a gender-equal society. This includes efforts leading up to this event, and this while dealing with and adapting to the challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. Media creates our common perception of what our societies are like. Media, therefore, has an important role to play in achieving gender equality. In the way media presents gender roles and ideals, by reporting about issues of importance to women's lives, by giving space to women's voices. Underrepresentation of women and their stories in the media means fewer opportunities for women to influence, but also to identify themselves with the stories that are presented. This award is therefore important in showing how media actors can both represent the society in a gender-balanced way and help us achieve more gender-equal societies. I therefore congratulate this year's award winners. I'm impressed by the ingenuity, creativeness and dedication reflected in their work. Making media more gender sensitive and gender neutral is a long-term process. It is easy to reflect the society of yesterday. It is easy not giving an accurate picture of the societies of today. It is challenging pointing out what kind of society we wish for tomorrow. Research shows that media, even in countries that are perceived as more gender balanced, continue to be male dominated, both in terms of participation and content. In some cases, it also contributes to stereotyping. Women are less often used as resources for political and scientific content as compared to men. Instead, women are mainly interviewed for stories with emotional or soft content. Women are often referred to by their first name and connected with their roles as caregivers. For example, mother of three has become the new finance minister, This is an unexpected headline. Would this description be used for a man? This father of three thinks most likely not. Research also shows that children are influenced by the gender stereotypes presented in the media from a young age. Print, digital and social media all play a major role in how people form their identities, social norms and values in relation to gender. When the media effectively add a gender lens to their content, it contributes to society's conceptions of gender. In other words, if we want real equality in society, the media must actively seek to promote more gender-sensitive and gender-neutral perspectives in India, in Norway, and across the world. The Laadli Media Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity is important in recognizing such efforts in India. Once again, I would like to celebrate and congratulate all journalists recognized here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Every year, we have been bringing a collection of our award-winning entries which report through the gender lens and cover a variety of issues across India. These compelling on-ground reports have traditionally focused on the continued gender inequalities in diverse areas such as health, education, livelihood, sexuality, digital divide, sexual violence, child sexual abuse, representation in media, and more. It is with immense pleasure that I announce the official launching of this year's edition, The Flip Side, which is a thought-provoking compendium of this year's winning reportage. The book may be downloaded from our website. Let us now look at the next category, my favorite, theatre. The award for Best Play goes to Nadira Babbar's Ji, Jaise Aapki Marzi. This iconic play is written, directed and produced by Nadira ji. It acquaints us with the lives of 4 different female protagonists and examines various roles assigned to women in our societies, as well as the overt and covert biases that exist against them. The blood-curdling violence that gets socially sanctioned leaves the viewers shocked and disturbed long after you've seen the play. May I now request Nadira ji, who over her 3 decades-long career in theatre has produced some remarkable work that highlights the social issues facing our society at the moment, to say a few words.
आदाब, नमस्कार। मेरा नाम नादिरा ज़हीर बब्बर है और मैं कुछ 53 साल से रंगमंच कर रही हूँ, थिएटर। हिंदी में ही काम करती हूँ मैं, क्योंकि वो मेरे देश की भाषा है। सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि लाडली मीडिया अवार्ड इस साल का मुझे मिला। जी, मुझे मिला। मेरा एक नाटक है, जी जैसी आपकी मर्जी। सुनने में एकदम लगता है ना कि ये क्या बात है, जी जैसी आपकी मर्जी। लेकिन अगर आप 2 पल भी सोचें तो आपको सब समझ में आ जाएगा कि इसके पीछे क्या है। हमारा पूरा समाज इसलिए बटा हुआ है 2 हिस्सों में, औरतों का और मर्दों का। और हम औरतों का काम होता है कि हम ये कहें अपनी ज़िंदगी में हमेशा, जी जैसी आपकी मर्जी। और यही वो नाटक है। इसी नाटक की वजह से मुझे ये अवार्ड मिला। मैं दोनों हाथ जोड़ के लाडली मीडिया अवार्ड्स का बहुत शुक्रिया कहती हूँ कि उन्होंने इसकी अहमियत को पहचाना और मुझे ये अवार्ड दिया। बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर शारदा जी, और बहुत शुक्रिया डॉली, तुम्हारा बहुत शुक्रिया। यू आर अ वेरी वेरी सिंसियर पर्सन and committed person to women's causes.
Thank you, Nadira ji, and congratulations to you. Now we bring to you a short snippet from the play, जी जैसी आपकी मर्जी।
मैं सुल्ताना 10-12 साल की थी जब अम्मी अब्बू ने मेरा निकाह कर दिया था। अकील नाम था मेरे शौहर का। उम्र में मुझसे कुछ 10-15 साल बड़े थे। रुखसती होकर जब मैं उनके घर पहुंची तो कुछ रातें तो मेरी सास ने मुझे अपने पास ही सुलाया। फिर एक दिन दोपहर में घर पर कोई नहीं था। मैं बरामदे में बैठी चटनी पीस रही थी कि मेरे शौहर अकील घर आ गए और मुझे पीछे से उठा के कोठरी के अंदर ले गए। कोठरी के अंदर ले जाके उन्होंने जो मेरी हालत की, नहीं छोड़ो मुझे, अम्मी अम्मी बचाओ मुझे, छोड़ो मुझे, अम्मी अम्मी नहीं, अम्मी अम्मी। मैं बेहोश हो गई थी। और जब होश आया तो देखा नीचे से सब खून जा रहा था। इतने में मेरी सास आई। पहले तो मुझे देख के थोड़ा डर सी गई, फिर एकदम से बोली, अरे चाहे लोट, बहुत हो गया नखरा होना। अरे आज नहीं तो 4-6 महीने बाद तो करना ही था, ऐसी कौन सी कयामत आ गई, चलो। कुछ 2-3 हफ्ते तक मेरे नीचे घाव रहा। 9 महीने होते होते मुझे एक लड़की हुई, सबिया। फिर 1.25 साल पे मुझे 2 लड़कियां और हुई, नगीना और सकीना। तीसरी लड़की होने के बाद से मुझे घर में खूब मारपीट थी, खूब डांट पीट थी कि मुझे लड़का नहीं हो रहा। मेरी सास मुझसे कहती, अरे मैंने 5-5 लड़के पैदा किए, तू एक तो घर का चिराग पैदा कर। मेरी सास और मेरे शौहर को मुझसे एक और शिकायत थी, मैं गोरी नहीं हूं ना। अकील, अरे उनका रंग तो मुझसे भी, लेकिन यही होता ना इन लोगों का, खुद भले कैसे भी हो, रंग काला, नाक टेढ़ी, दांत निकले हुए, पर बीवियां इन्हें चाहिए चांद का टुकड़ा। जब मैं 4थी बार पेट से थी तो तभी से मुझे घर में सबने कहना शुरू कर दिया था, अगर इस बार भी लड़की हुई तो हम अकील का निकाह कहीं और कर देंगे। और मेरी बदकिस्मती तो देखिए, मुझे 4थी बार फिर से लड़की हुई। मैं बहुत डर गई थी। मैंने दूसरे दिन से उठ के ही घर का काम करना शुरू कर दिया। अचानक से मेरी सास मेरी लड़कियों को नोचती घसीटती ले आई और बोली, ले उठा अपने लड़कियों का कूड़ों का ढेर और निकल जा मेरे घर से। अम्मी अम्मी ऐसा मत कहिए अम्मी, मैं कहाँ जाऊंगी अम्मी। तो मुझे लात मारी और कहा, अरे कहीं भी जा, जाके मर, आते जुम्मे को हम अकील का निकाह कर रहे हैं। अम्मी अम्मी ऐसा मत कहिए अम्मी, अकील मेरे शौहर है अम्मी। मेरे शौहर पीछे से आए और कहा, काहे का शौहर, तलाक तलाक तलाक, ले हो गया तलाक। अम्मी 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 ऐसा मत करो अम्मी। फिर मेरी लड़कियों को घसीट कर और मुझे धक्के दार के बाहर निकाल दिया। अम्मी 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 दरवाजा खोलिए अम्मी, अम्मी दरवाजा खोलिए, मैं यहीं कहीं कोने में पड़ी रहूंगी। अम्मी अम्मी दरवाजा खोलिए अम्मी। मैं यहीं कोने में पड़ी रहूंगी अम्मी। और जब कुछ समझ नहीं आया तो अपने बच्चों को लेके अपने घर चली आई। अब्बा का तो इसी बीच इंतकाल हो गया था। 2 भाई थे, उनकी बीवियां बुरी नहीं थी, पर एक शौहर से छोड़ी हुई औरत और उसकी 4 लड़कियों को कौन रखेगा। मेरी अम्मी तो खुद इनके भरोसे रहती थी। मैं अपनी बच्चियों को लेके सड़क के फुटपाथ पर ही रहने लगी। एक चादर को डंडे से बांध के घर बना लिया। ये भी क्या बात हुई, जब चाहा तलाक कहा और घर से निकाल दिया। तब मैं 20 साल की थी। बस फिर क्या था, मैं इधर उधर लोगों के घर में काम करने लगी। कभी आधे पेट खाते तो कभी भूखे ही सो जाते। इसी बीच मेरी 2 लड़कियों का इंतकाल हो गया। छोटी वाली को हैजा हो गया था और दूसरे वाली को मोटर गाड़ी ने मेरी बच्ची दोनों ही बार मैंने बहुत दौड़ भाग की। डॉक्टर साहब मेरी बच्ची, बेबी जी थोड़े पैसे दे दीजिए, वो मेरी बच्ची। मेरी बच्ची। मेरी बच्ची। पर मैं उन्हें नहीं बचा पाई। मेरी बाकी की 2 लड़कियां स्कूल भी जाती है और घर का काम भी करती है। इसी बीच मैंने अपनी एक झोपड़ी भी बना ली। तभी हमारे मोहल्ले में रहने एक हकीम साहब आए। इतना बेशरम नास पीटा के क्या बताऊं। जब भी मैं उसके दवाखाने के सामने से गुजरती तो मुझे देख के शेरो शायरी करने लगता। ओए होए 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 होए, रोशनी चांद से होती है, सितारों से नहीं। मोहब्बत एक से होती है, हजारों से नहीं। मुझे इतना गुस्सा आता, फिर मुझे लगता अब मैं इससे क्या कहूं। चुपचाप सर झुका के चली आती। एक दिन मैं अपनी बच्चियों को खाना खिला रही थी कि आदाब भाईजान। मेरे भाईजान घर पे आए और मुझसे कहने लगे, अरे वाह भाई सुल्ताना, तुम्हारी किस्मत तो बड़ी अच्छी है, हकीम साहब तुमसे निकाह करना चाहते हैं। और मैंने मना किया तो भाइयों ने भाभियों ने मिलकर मुझे खूब डांटा फटकारा और मेरे लाख मना करने के बावजूद 1 महीने के अंदर अंदर मेरा निकाह हकीम साहब से कर दिया। कैसा होता है ना, ये भाई भाभी जिन्होंने कभी मेरी परवाह नहीं की थी, जिनके घर के सामने मैं सड़क पे फुटपाथ पे रहती थी, आज अचानक से मेरे हमदर्द बन गए। सोचा होगा बहन की लड़कियां बड़ी होगी तो उनकी जिम्मेदारियां भी हमें उठानी पड़ेगी, इसलिए बहन की शादी कर दो, ये बलाएं तो अपने आप ही टल जाएगी। शादी करके जब मैं हकीम साहब के घर पहुंची तो वो मुझसे कहने लगे, देखो भाई सुल्ताना, अब जो है तुम्हें बुर्का पहनना पड़ेगा। मैंने कहा बुर्का, मगर सारा मोहल्ला तो मुझे 1000 बार देख चुका है। तो कहने लगे, देखा होगा मगर अब तुम हमारी बेगम हो। बेगम, मुझे हंसी आ गई। मैंने जहर का घूंट पी के बुर्का पहन लिया। शादी के बाद दिन रात मैं और मेरी बच्चियां दवाइयां कूटती रहती, पीसती रहती, पर जरा सी गलती होती नहीं कि हकीम साहब तैयार रहते हमें मारने फटकारने के लिए। फिर एक दिन उन्होंने मुझसे कहा, देखो भाई सुल्ताना, अब जो है ये सबिया भी बड़ी हो रही है, तुम इसे भी बुर्का पहनाओ और वो म्युनिसिपालिटी स्कूल से निकाल के तुम इसे वो मदरसे में डालो। मैंने कहा क्यों? तो कहने लगे, हम शरीफ घरों की औरतें अपने मर्दों से क्यों और कैसे नहीं पूछती, हमने जो कह दिया सो कह दिया, आखिर हमारी भी तो कोई इज्जत है।
A hard-hitting presentation indeed of what women go through. Thank you very much, Nadira ji, and once again, huge congratulations to you and your team, Ekjut. Ladies and gentlemen, last year we instituted a new category, the most inspiring woman protagonist in a TV serial. This year we received a tremendous response from numerous channels, and it was a tough call. For this edition, we are presenting the Laadli Most Inspiring Woman Protagonist in a TV Serial to a feisty pair of twins, Garima and Sushila, from Katilal and Sons, the serial that premiered on Sony Sub and is set in a misogynistic Haryanvi backdrop. The sisters fight against patriarchal traditions to run the family's ancestral salon called Katilal and Sons and successfully change society's perception about what girls can do. Garima is portrayed by Megha Chakravarti, while Jia Shankar essays Sushila's part. Congratulations. And may we have the winners say a few words, please.
It feels really great when you get rewarded for your work. So thank you so much, the National Laadli Media, for giving me this award, the most inspiring woman protagonist, for the character Garima, which I played in Katilal and Sons. Thank you so much. I really love the character Garima. This is my, I think, one of the favorite characters. So Garima was she was fearless, बहुत ही positive character था, she was talented. So I'm really happy that Garima has inspired a lot of women, a lot of people.
Thank you so much, Laadli. I am so happy and honored to be receiving this award as the most inspiring woman for portraying Sushila Katilal Ruhel, a girl who fought for her dreams against the patriarchal society. And this award is actually for all the women out there who are fighting for their dreams and equality in this world, and for all those men who are supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you so much and all the best. Before we move on to the next segment, I would like to invite Ramesh Narayan, a long-time friend of Laadli, to say a few words. Ramesh is the former president, India chapter IAA, founder, Canco Advertising Private Limited, and an author.
Laadli's Media Awards are an award with a difference. They are not just run as a cause, they also espouse a cause. And the winners aren't just excellent at all they do, they are also making a difference in the world around them and making the world a better place. And such awards need to be hailed and need to be encouraged. All the very best to the entire team there at Laadli.
Thank you, Ramesh, for your encouragement. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you a person I have known and admired for many years, Miss Dolly Thakur, a renowned television newsreader, along with being a veteran commentator, columnist, communication and public relations consultant, author, associate publisher, editor, casting director, and theatre actor. She has been the national coordinator of the Laadli Media Awards for Gender Sensitivity since its inception in 2007 and has recently published her autobiography, Regrets None, truly Dolly style. Don't forget to get a copy and read it. She will be taking you through the next set of special awards. Over to you, Dolly.
How wonderful to be back on a platform that I love. Thank you, Sunita. Good evening, all. What a privilege it is to announce the special awards for the 11th edition of the National Laadli Media and Advertising Awards for Gender Sensitivity 2021. The first in the series is undeniably Laadli Women Behind the Screen Award. Women are visible on the screen and their contribution to the film industry is well recognized. Unfortunately, their participation and visibility in other fields of filmmaking, like production, direction, cinematography, music direction, etc., is hardly noticed. Today we have many women entering the film industry in various departments and are making a name for themselves. The Laadli Woman Behind the Screen Award acknowledges such women. And this year's award goes to Tanuja Chandra. Tanuja Chandra is a well-known film director and writer, known for her women-centric films. She started her directorial debut with Dushman, which looks at the psychological trauma of a young girl who lost her twin to a brutal murder following her rape. Her next film, Sangharsh, was centered around a female protagonist who tracks down a deadly criminal. Her other films include Sur, The Melody of Life, Film Star, Zindagi Rocks, Kareeb Kareeb Single, and Hope and a Little Sugar. Silvat, a short film, and a documentary, Auntie Sudha, Auntie Radha, that talks about sisterhood in a rural setting. She has directed television serials like Zameen Asman and Mumkin. She co-wrote the screenplay of Yash Chopra's hugely successful film Dil To Pagal Hai and Mahesh Bhatt's Tamanna. Multifaceted, she has extended her footprint into journalism as she contributes articles and columns to several leading publications like the Indian Express. She has recently authored a book that is replete with quirky, strange, funny, and intriguing tales from small towns in Uttar Pradesh. And we are thrilled to present the Laadli Woman Behind the Screen Award to Tanuja Chandra. Tanuja, I've known you for ages and I'm very proud of you. Now let's listen to your views.
I'm extremely grateful to receive the Laadli Woman Behind the Screen Award at the end of what has been an extremely difficult and challenging year for all of us. Thank you for recognizing my work. For over 2 decades, my effort has been to always strive for female representation on screen. And as far as gender sensitivity is concerned, even if we move mountains, it won't nearly be enough to achieve equality. And what bigger fight or more significant one is there than the one for equality? In the coming years, my unshakable plan is to tell stories of the female genre. And it is very heartening to have the encouragement and the support of organizations like Population First and UNFPA, who provide crucial services for women and children. I wish them more power, and together we shall overcome.
This year, 3 stalwarts of the Indian feminist movement passed away: Gail Omved, Kamla Bhasin, and Sonal Shukla. Their contribution has been immense, and it is only befitting that I invite Vibhuti Patel, well-known gender economist and women's rights activist, to pay a tribute to them.
Thank you, Dolly. Women's movement in India has lost 3 veteran and visionary feminists within 1 month: Gail Omved, Sonal Shukla, and Kamla Bhasin. They bridged the gap between theory and action and actively supported women's studies as well as women's rights movement. All of them were shapers of autonomous women's movement in India and believed in feminist principles of personal is political. They were inclusive public intellectuals as well as champions of women's rights movement who left path-breaking legacy of intersectional feminist writings. They were committed to secular humanism and had a deep urge to reach out to all sections of society. Gail Omved passed away on 25th August at the age of 80. She was committed and courageous, prolific writer and powerful social scientist who brought to the fore Phule Ambedkar legacy in the context of rising social movements in the post-emergency period. Gail's close association with grassroots movements of rural and tribal women, farmers, forest dwellers, and women-headed households, and her involvement in newly formed women's rights movement during the late 70s were captured in her engaging and outstanding first-person account in her book titled We Shall Smash This Prison, published in 1978. She authored 25 books and thousands of articles published in several languages of India and world over, and got published in acclaimed international and national journals. She was a renowned social theorist who pioneered intersectional analysis of caste, class, and gender. Memorial meetings organized by rural groups, Dalit organizations, academic institutions, activists of grassroots movements, farmers' organization, Bahujan groups bear witness to the fact that Gail had made a permanent mark among the progressive thinkers and practitioners dedicated to social transformation. A veteran feminist activist and public intellectual, Sonal Shukla passed away on 9th September 2021. Multifaceted Sonal was a powerful writer, orator, and debater who consistently championed the causes of girls' and women's rights and dignity. She examined an unfolding reality with a gender lens. A founding trustee of Vacha, which is a feminist resource center for girls and women, Sonal Shukla was a champion of feminist activism as well as gender-responsive cultural alternatives in terms of songs, posters, essays, documentary films, and plays. From early childhood, Sonal was always vociferous about women's rights. Through her writings and oratory, Sonal consistently highlighted the burning issues of women at workplace, women in the home, in the political spheres, and in public life. She was humble and humorous, witty and warm. She had a zest for life, was actively involved in solidarity work for local as well as global efforts of women's rights movement. Sonal was a great giver, lived for others. On 8th March 2021, she was awarded an Icon of Women's Movement in India and across globe award under the banner of Gender Icon Award instituted by Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, India. On the same day, graphic novel penned by veteran feminist journalist Jyoti Pulwani and illustrated by Sharat Sharma, a famous cartoonist, captured milestones of Sonal's life that was released in social media for free download. Kamla Bhasin left us on 25th of September 2021. Her passing has caused an irreparable loss to the feminist movement and 1 billion rising movement in Asia. Kamladi, as she was popularly known, lives in her songs, verses, stories, speeches, publications in multiple languages, and most importantly, in our hearts and minds. Thousands of scholars and activists, young adults with non-English background, got their understanding of feminism studying Kamla Bhasin's booklets in Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, nearly 18 Indian languages, Urdu, whole of South Asia also could respond to her writings, and she actively interacted with them. Her books were on feminism, patriarchy, gender-based violence, rights of girl child, education for social development, and all developmental issues. Kamla made discourses on women's rights accessible to first-generation learners by deprivatizing her intellectual and creative resources. Kamla became their window for feminist worldview. Kamla Bhasin was a founder member of Jagori, South Asia Women's Network, Aurat Foundation, and played pivotal role in forging solidarity among feminist movements across South Asian countries. Gail Omwit, Sonal Shukla, Kamla Bhasin have left a rich legacy of feminist transformatory agenda of action for attaining society based on foundation of gender justice. All three of them have voiced needs and aspirations, dreams and demands of girls for half a decade of their active public action. Population First and Laadli Media Award function pays glorious tributes to these three feminist icons. Thank you.
Thank you, Vibhuti, for that touching tribute to the triumvirate of India's feminist movement, Kamla Bhasin, Sonal Shukla, and Gail Omvet, all dear friends of mine. I am happy that Laadli has instituted an award in their honor, the Laadli Gender Champion Award. And the award rightfully goes to advocate Flavia Agnes, who worked with all three of them closely. Flavia Agnes is a women's rights lawyer with expertise in marital divorce and property law. She has been a practicing lawyer in the Bombay High Court. I shall repeat that, it's the Mumbai High Court since 1988. She also advises the government on law implementation and the Ministry of Women and Child Development in Maharashtra. In 1990, she co-founded Majlis, a legal and cultural resource center that has provided legal representation on issues of matrimonial rights, child custody, and for more than 50,000 women. She is a part of the Global Feminists Project, an archive created in 2002 to explore the women scholars and activists around the world. A prolific writer and author, her articles have appeared in leading journals like Subaltern Studies, Economic and Political Weekly, and Manushi. Her books include My Story, Our Story, Family Law, Law and Gender Inequality, Negotiating Spaces, and more. We all have a stereotypical view of who the victims of domestic violence are. Oh, it is happening out there, maybe in slums. We never imagine that it can happen in middle-class homes. I am a survivor, and through this organization, I want to help those undergoing domestic violence to come out of it and become survivors. It is in this spirit that we salute Flavia Agnes. The first Laadli Gender Champion Award, instituted in the memory of Gail Omvet, Kamla Bhasin, and Sonal Shukla, recognizes your tremendous contribution.
Good evening, everyone. I have known Laadli for quite a number of years, and I have attended some of its functions. And I particularly know Shabda, and the work of Laadli is really very relevant for our times, particularly awarding media persons who are writing on women's issues, bringing in the issue of women's rights to the forefront, and also changing attitudes. And I think this is a great endeavor, and it gives a lot of encouragement to young people. So thank you so much for choosing me for this award. I really appreciate it. And I feel highly honored that this award is set up in the memory of three of our feminist stalwarts who passed away very recently. Gail Omvet, Sonal Shukla, Kamla Bhasin, who have done great work in different areas and different fields. Gail was working on issues of women and Bahujan Samaj, the caste issue, and has published extensively, and also was a great activist at the ground level. Sonal Shukla was a very close personal friend, and we've been more like sisters, particularly when we both started in the women's movement in the late 79, early 80s. And she was a great supporter of the concept of providing a resource center for the battered women, the Women's Center. And it ran from our house for more than 2 years. And not just that, but also personally, She gave me great encouragement and great support. And I owe her a lot. Today, if I am known as a feminist lawyer, it is her encouragement for me to get back into education, get the required degrees, and become a lawyer. And for this, I owe her a great debt. Kamala Bhasin, I knew her, but I didn't know her like close friend. But she has influenced all of us through her slogans, through her rhymes, through her writings, explaining feminism, gender, patriarchy, through very, very small booklets which have been translated in several languages, not just in India, but also in the entire South Asia. We were all transformed in the 79-80 women's movement, which gave us all a new direction, a new lease of life. Particularly for me, till then I was a victim of domestic violence, raising my 3 children within this environment. But the 1980 movement, particularly the 1980 conference, gave me exposure, gave me confidence to leave this situation, change my life, and to become a lawyer and set up this organization. So our endeavor has been to create a space within the legal system, within this patriarchal, misogynist institute, to create a space for women and women's rights, and for women to access the rights that the laws have given them. So that has been the work of Majlis, and I'm most grateful that you have chosen me for this award. And by giving me the award, you have honored me and also acknowledged the work Majlis has done over the years, for the last nearly 30 years. Thank you so much.
Our next award is the Laadli Lifetime Achievement Award. And there is no one more deserving than Dr. Neelam Mansingh Chowdhry. Has experimented with formats, structure, space, narration, as well as characters to interpret each production differently. A student of Ibrahim Al-Qazi at the National School of Drama, before she moved to Chandigarh, Neelam worked with theatre personalities like B.V. Karanth, Nasiruddin Shah, and Om Puri. She started experimenting with her roots in Punjab and explored various forms of Punjabi folk, such as Gatka, the martial arts of the Nihangs, and Dadis or Sufi balladeer. She has used the natural setting of the famous rock gardens to host her plays. She believes vision is not static, it constantly evolves. The more you see, the bigger is the world of the self you enter. It reflects the way she deconstructs and interprets each of her oeuvres. We are honored to present the Laadli Lifetime Achievement Award to Dr. Neelam Mansingh Chowdhry. I have known and seen her work over the years and feel particularly proud of her achievements. Can we hear from her now?
I would like to thank Laadli, an organization that has done some absolutely path-breaking work in terms of gender, in terms of women's empowerment. And I feel deeply privileged today. This award because of my work in theatre. Theatre is a very complex space to be in. It's made up of a group of people. It's a collective of people who share the journey with me. They may not be visible and I may be receiving the award, but I would like to also thank them for being part of this journey, which has brought me to the point where Laadli has recognized my work and given me this honor. As we all know that work can only happen if you're passionate about what you do. And there has been a lot of passion in my journey of creating well-made plays, of creating devised work, of taking short stories and dramatizing them. So it's been a long journey of many, many years. And collectively and individually and with a group of people, one has created a certain presence in terms of one's work in North India. And for Laadli to recognize it is something that really warms my heart. Thank you very much. And I would also like to say that all work can only happen if you have something to say, if there is passion, and if you keep on hammering and chiseling your craft, which has been what we have all been doing together, me and my group. Thank you very much, Laadli. Thank you very much, Dolly. And thank you very much to the entire team for bestowing this honor on me, for which I am deeply, deeply gratitude and accept with great humility. Thank you.
The last award of the special awards category is the Laadli of the Century Award, which goes to a woman who has been a trailblazer and an inspiration for decades. Our Laadli of the Century, Shama Zaidi. In an industry largely dominated by men, Shama Zaidi has been a pathbreaker, multifaceted with contributions across theatre, cinema and journalism. Her illustrious career spans nearly 5 decades. Shama Zaidi has set an example for the younger generation of filmmakers through her vast body of work, with stalwarts like Satyajit Ray, Shyam Benegal and M.S. Satyu, a rare accomplishment indeed. Her highly acclaimed films like Garam Hawa, Charandas Chor, Zubeda, Mandi, Hari Bhari, Mammo, Nishant, Manthan, Shatranj Ki Khiladi, and many more established her as an acclaimed screenplay writer, costume designer, and art director. Shama Zaidi's theatre journey started with Hindustani theatre as a costume designer and artist with productions like Shakuntala, Mitti Ki Gaadi, Khalid Ki Khala, Mudra Rakshas, Safed Kundli, Mera Naam Trufaldeen. Each of her projects showcases the social reality of the times and her meticulous contribution and talent for her detail-oriented research. She has been an integral part of IPTA, the Indian People's Theatre Association, not only as jury member for its intercollegiate drama competition, but has translated and adapted over a dozen plays from various languages into Hindustani. In appreciation for the massive contributions he has made in opening doors for women in the film industry, we are honored to present the Laadli of the Century Award to Shama Zaidi. What an amazing achievement. And now it's time to hear a few words from Shama herself.
Well, I'm very grateful that I'm being given this award. So I believe that this is because I've done some work in cinema and television and theatre. But I must tell you that I actually stood on my mother's shoulders because my mother started a professional theatre group in the 50s along with Habib Tanveer, and she wanted to make it into the National Theatre of India. But she passed away short of her 45th birthday, so after that we were alone, and her group just died out. And then I came to Bombay because my husband was working with Chetan Anand, and I joined the IPTA, the Indian People's Theatre Association, for which I did various things like designing and direction and acting and so on. And then I finally got into films, and the first two people I worked with were Shyam Benegal, and of course I consider he's one of the most pro-female filmmakers I know. Supportive men should get awards from Laadli because they're thinner on the ground than women who are achieving, which the number has increased vastly in the last decade or so. Then I went on to work with many film people, Mr. Satyajit Ray, Shyam Benegal, and of course with my husband M.S. Satyu, Muzaffar Ali. These were the main people. And when I first joined the Art Directors Association, because I was actually trained in art direction when I went to London and Germany and so on, and they said, you are joining because your husband is an art director. I said, no, I am a trained art director. My husband is self-taught. So with great reluctance, they made me a member of the Art Directors Association. And then after 2 years, they made me the General Secretary. So of course, I felt quite chuffed about that. But at that time, there were hardly any women designing, because you had to work with craftsmen and carpenters and, you know, buying this and that in the market and so on. And it was, they thought women couldn't do that. But of course, now there are a lot of people who are doing art direction and production design, which is a more vaster field than just putting up sets. And so I also taught the subject in the Film Institute, the one in Pune. And there I'm happy to say that at least 1/3 of the students were girls. I'm not unhappy with what is happening, but I feel that it's a certain professions are allowing more women in, but there are many professions which women just cannot get in. For instance, if you're a makeup artist, you can't be a woman. Until recently, they were not allowing women members to join, and all the makeup was done by men. You know, the women were only allowed to be hairdressers. Actually, I never thought of myself as a woman, this and that. In fact, they wanted to make me a member of something, some woman, something, something. I said, I don't want to be a member because I don't take nonsense from anybody, whether it's a man or a woman, you know, and I get my way anyway. And I'm very grateful, of course, for Laadli. I don't know why this name is there, Laadli. Of course, there's Lado also, but probably Laadli is more an affectionate name than, say, Lado. So it's a Laadli award. So I think everybody's daughter is a Laadli, but some people's wives are also Laadlis. So it's a nice name, Laadli. So I'm glad I've got a Laadli award.
Thank you so much, Dolly, for that wonderful presentation. May I now request Dr. Sharda to welcome Ms. Mrinal Pande, the renowned Indian television personality, journalist and author, who is our chief guest for the evening. Dr. Sharda, please.
Thank you, Sunita. A towering personality in the field of media, Padma Shri Mrinal Pande has been an inspiration to many young journalists, social activists, and media persons. Currently, the group editorial advisor to the National Herald Group, Mrinalji writes both in Hindi and in English. Her work covers fiction, plays, and essays on contemporary India and its women, and a study of India's rural women and their sexual and reproductive lives. She has edited well-known Hindi periodicals, Vama and Saptahik Hindustan, for the Times of India and the Hindustan Times Group, respectively. She was editor, anchor for the Hindi news at NDTV and Doordarshan. With many firsts to her credit, she is indeed a pioneer in the field and has set the stage for many women to emulate her and learn from her journey. In 2000, she became India's first woman chief editor of a multi-edition Hindi daily, Hindustan. She was also the first woman to be Secretary General of the Editors Guild of India. She is the founder president of the Indian Women Press Corps, a national body of India's women journalists. She was a member of the group that prepared Shram Shakti, India's first documentation of the status and lives of women workers in the unorganized informal sector, which was released in 2009. Prior to stepping into journalism, Mrinalji has taught at the universities of Allahabad, Delhi, and Bhopal. She has been a member of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in India and also a member of the National Board for Film Certification. She was also the chairperson of India's national broadcaster, Prasar Bharati. We are indeed very fortunate to have Mrinal Pande ji as our chief guest today. Welcome, ma'am.
Namaskar, friends.
I'm deeply honored to be chairing the 11th edition of the National Laadli Media Awards. These awards aim at gender sensitization of the media, focusing on various issues deeply connected with women's welfare. I'm honored to be here to be addressing you and talking a little bit about my own experiences in the field. I'm very happy that the matter of sensitizing and making media more inclusive has been raised vociferously by this organization, which is very much a need of the hour. We all know that gradually the parts of media, as media is expanding, have been becoming a little coarse, a little impervious to women and their images, and this reinforces the poor self-image a lot of women have in India of themselves because they have not been raised to consider themselves a whole human being. ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि ये पुरस्कार इस बार 14 भारतीय भाषाओं की ऐसी मीडिया कर्मियों को दिया जा रहा है जिन्होंने मीडिया की हर किस्म की शाखा में, चाहे प्रिंट मीडिया हो, डिजिटल मीडिया हो, न्यूज़ पोर्टल्स हो या टेलीविजन हो, उससे अपनी लेखनी से, अपनी बोली से, अपने विचारों से बेहतर बनाया है। ये बहुत अच्छी बात है क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ महिलाओं के लिए पहले तो भारतीय भाषाओं की पत्रकारिता में आना ही कठिन होता है, और जब वो आ जाएं तो एक ऐसा कोना पाना जहाँ पर महिलाओं को प्रतिष्ठा मिलती है, महिलाओं के विषयों पर बोला और लिखा जाता है, वो भी बहुत दुर्लभ होता जा रहा है। इसलिए मैं लाडली मीडिया के इस पुरस्कार को सृजन करने वाले लोगों को और इस संस्था को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ। ये भी बहुत खुशी की बात है कि इस बार पाथ ब्रेकर्स के रूप में कुछ ऐसी महिलाओं को भी सम्मानित किया जा रहा है जिन्होंने बहुत लंबे अरसे तक अपना योगदान इस क्षेत्र में दिया है। इनमें तनुजा चंद्रा हैं जिनकी फिल्मों से आप सब परिचित हैं, उसमें फ्लाविया एग्निस हैं जिनको मैं व्यक्तिगत रूप से कम 3 दशकों से जानती हूँ। फ्लाविया ने घरेलू हिंसा के क्षेत्र में खास तौर से उल्लेखनीय काम किया है, और चूंकि वो खुद पेशे से एक वकील हैं इसलिए उन्होंने बहुत सारी कानूनी अड़चनों और पेचीदगियों को भी समझा है और औरतों के लिए उसको सरल बनाकर प्रस्तुत किया है। इसके अतिरिक्त सोनल शुक्ला हैं जो मीडिया से जुड़ी हुई हैं। 2 हमारी सम्मानित सदस्याएं आज हमारे बीच में नहीं हैं, गेल ओम्बेट जिन्होंने दलितों के बारे में और महिलाओं के बारे में बहुत दमदार तरीके से जुझारू बनकर लिखा, और दूसरी कमला भसीन जिनके फेमिनिस्ट गानों से आप सब परिचित हैं और जिन्होंने जगह जगह महिलाओं के जमावड़ों में शिरकत की, गांव से लेकर के शहर तक महिलाओं को उनके अधिकारों से, उनकी अंदर की सौम्यता और गुणों से परिचित कराया। इन सबका मैं अभिनंदन करती हूँ। और ये भी बहुत खुशी की बात है कि इस बार का लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड नीलम मानसिंह चौधरी को दिया जा रहा है। उनसे भी मैं करीब 30-40 बरस से परिचित हूँ, तब से जब वो NSD से पढ़ के निकली थी और नाटक की दुनिया में पैर रख रही थी। उन्होंने हिंदी, अंग्रेजी, पंजाबी तीनों भाषाओं में बहुत जमकर काम किया है और उनके नाटक बहुत अविस्मरणीय है। नीलम को मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देती हूँ। When I come back to my own journey, it began in the 80s. और आज आप लोगों को ये अंदाज नहीं हो सकता है how hard times were then. We could not even go alone into the thanas. Our seniors considered that very dangerous. तो मुझे याद है कि हम डाउरी डेथ्स पर एक स्टोरी कर रहे थे, मधु जैन और मैं, और हम लोग एक थाने में गए दिल्ली के, जहाँ थानेदार साहब अपने बूट रख के बैठे हुए थे मेज के ऊपर। बड़ी हकारत से उन्होंने हमको देखा, सुना और उसके बाद कहा कि सारी दिक्कत ये है कि आप लोग बहनें जो हैं, आप लोग एडजस्ट करना भूल गई हैं। हमारे परिवारों की तो ये रवायत है और अगर आप लोग एडजस्ट नहीं करेंगी तो फिर ये दहेज हत्याएं बढ़ती जाएंगी। तो ये उस जमाने का सोच था, लेकिन आज भी जो घटनाएं हो रही हैं उनको देख के लगता है कि तमाम सेमिनारों, वेबिनारों और सारी बातचीत के बावजूद बहुत ज्यादा स्थिति में बदलाव नहीं हुआ है। हाँ, कानून जरूर बदले हैं। देयर हैज बीन एडमिरेबल revision of several laws pertaining to women, especially vis-a-vis dowries and rapes. The rape laws have been made stricter, and the reason and how and why they were done are well known to you. However, we must express a special vote of thanks for Justice Leela Seth, who is no longer with us. Justice Leela Seth उस समिति में थी जिसने रेप लॉज को दोबारा से गढ़ा. उसमें भारत के चीफ जस्टिस रहे जस्टिस वर्मा भी शामिल थे, और जस्टिस लीला सेठ ने खुद अपनी आत्मकथा में लिखा है कि उन्होंने जब ये मामले पड़ताल करने शुरू किए और उनकी पूरी श्रृंखला जांची, she was appalled to note how male-centric the entire legal community was, how male-centric the overview was, so that even women working in the profession were affected by it. खैर, उसमें धीरे धीरे तब्दीली तो आ रही है, लेकिन अभी हाल में हमने देखा कि किसानों का इतना बड़ा धरना प्रदर्शन हुआ, और उसमें एक ये बहुत हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छी बात थी कि हमारी किसान बहनों ने बहुत बड़ी तादाद में हिस्सा लिया. हिस्सा ही नहीं लिया, महीनों अपना घर बार छोड़ के अपने बच्चों समेत वो डटी रही. इस बात की तारीफ भी हुई, इस पर चर्चा भी हुई, लेकिन इसके बावजूद टीवी पर जो चर्चाएं होती रही हैं, ज्यादातर खबरिया चैनलों पर और डिजिटल मीडिया पर जो चर्चाएं हुई, you would have noticed that they consisted of panels, man only panels, जहां पर कि पुरुषों ने किसानों को एक महिला के रूप में कम देखा, पुरुष के रूप में ज्यादा देखा. और the entire projection of the views of the farmers, which are very justified, were also largely projected by males. It was assumed that women cannot speak up for themselves. The same thing happens many times in offices, in TV discussions. You will notice that there are very few women still discussing issues other than considered soft issues like art and culture, and then of course rapes and domestic violence. इसलिए अब समय आ गया है कि महिलाएं सिर्फ इन्हीं विषयों तक सीमित न रहें. ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि आप लोग आमची प्रोजेक्ट पर काम कर रहे हैं जो ठाणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, और वहां पर सघन काम हो रहा है मन के बीच में. लेकिन ये भी जरूरी है कि women should also write, speak and come on various media fora to speak about things that women are actually also agitated and associated with. For example, 11% women in the unorganized sector lost their jobs during the 2 COVID years, which translates into lakhs of women, particularly in the rural areas, suddenly becoming jobless. These are women who do not own properties, who run families, who have children to feed, who have old people to care for. लेकिन इसके बावजूद उन महिलाओं की खेतीहरों के बीच में बहुत कम चर्चा होती है. जब हम कहते हैं किसान, तो अक्सर सारी तस्वीरों में हम पुरुष किसानों को ही बैठा हुआ दिखाते हैं. एक अफवाह था शाहीन बाग का धरना, जिसमें महिलाएं बड़ी तादाद में थीं और उन्हीं ने उसको जोड़ करके रखा. बल्कि ये मैं कहूं कि किसानों ने अपना इंस्पिरेशन महिलाओं से ही लिया. और ये बहुत तारीफ की बात है कि महिलाएं सड़क पर आकर के धरना देना सीख गई हैं. लेकिन अब हमको मीडिया की मार्फत लोगों को ये सिखाना है कि उनका कितना बड़ा महत्व है, सिर्फ धरने प्रदर्शन में नहीं बल्कि देश की जीडीपी में भी. इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है कि जब हम बेरोजगारों की गिनती करें, उनकी तादाद बताएं, तो हम उसमें ये भी जोड़ें कि इसमें महिलाओं का अलग हिस्सा कितना बैठता है. मुझसे बहुत साल पहले एक बार जब मैं बात कर रही थी एक वरिष्ठ स्वतंत्रता सेनानी से, तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि हमको अब सोच के बहुत दुख होता है कि उस वक्त जब हम आजादी आंदोलन में लड़ रही थी, तो हमने कभी अपने लिए अलग से कुछ नहीं मांगा. अपने पति के लिए, अपने बेटों के लिए, अपने भाइयों के लिए हम उनके लिए ही लड़ती रही, उनके साथ ही खड़ी रही. लेकिन जैसे हमारे दलित भाई बहनों ने अपने लिए, अपने जायज हकों के लिए मांगा, हमने नहीं मांगा. I think the media women have to realize this. We have to really insist on a proper placing of women, of a proper contexting of women in the areas in which they are contributing not only to families but to the entire nation as such. आज सौभाग्य से NFHS की रिपोर्ट आई है, नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे की, जिसने 6 लाख से ज्यादा परिवारों का निरीक्षण किया है और ये पाया है कि देश में अब जाकर महिलाओं की तादाद पुरुषों से थोड़ी बढ़ गई है। और उन्होंने साथ ही ये भी पाया है कि देश की सबसे ज्यादा तादाद में हमारी महिलाएं एनीमिया से पीड़ित हैं। This tells you two things. A, that the women are getting numerically a large number, which the politicians see and which they are trying to quote through traditional methods, but women are also very, very important to the national exchequer, to the national GDP, and therefore their particular participation in the national mainstream has to be noted. हमारी पीढ़ी ने औरतों के लिए मीडिया में जगह बनाई, औरतों के विषयों के लिए मीडिया में जगह बनाई, लेकिन अब आप लोगों के सामने ये चुनौती है कि आप औरतों के लिए उन विषयों में जगह बनाएं। विदेश नीति है, व्यापार है, पर्यावरण सुरक्षा है, आर्थिक मोर्चे पर नीति निर्माण है, किसानी है। इन सब विषयों पर महिलाओं को आगे आकर के लिखना चाहिए, बोलना चाहिए, भागीदारी करनी चाहिए। It has been great delight to be able to address you with my concerns, and I do hope you have a great year. Congratulations once again to the award winners, and I thank the organizers for their kindness and their warmth in inviting me and allowing me to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrinalji, for your encouraging words. The younger generations need to learn from your vast experience, and we are grateful that you have shared your views on the road ahead so liberally. Thank you, ma'am. We would like to end this evening with an ensemble of Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya and Godavari, once again brought together by the wonderful students of Arabi. From the darkness to the light, from ignorance to knowledge, from despair to joy. O Lord, lead me in that direction. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Until the next edition, goodbye and good night.